Meow, 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 meow. Do, do, do. Uh-oh. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Do, do, do. Meow, meow. Alright. A Soulframe. We meet again. Okay. Wait. Maybe not. Damn it. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. Mm-mm-mm. Where are we? Do, 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 do. Okay. Meow. I want to go see New Busy. I want a stag. That's what I want. Big old stag. Wait. Oh god. No. God damn it. Nope. No. Ah. I knew there was an enemy around. Oh well. I lie. I don't want you busy. I need to be over here. Come here, little stag. Come here. I need you. Alright. To abode. Hello. Oh dear, I'm in a glass cage of emotion. Once again. I want your soul, I want your soul, and I want yours too. Alright, doggo. Get out. Excuse me. Those we done, your friends. Gimme. Gimme, gimme. And get the river pearl. Wonderful. Let's go take on this dude. Because I can. Actually, before I do that, I just want to triple check stuff. Cool. Excellent. Okay. Alright. Sound check done, which is great. Hello, hello. Oh no. Excuse me, madam. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your transaction. Oh, look at that shot. I might just make it to the Banneret before this rune expires. Oof, that was close. Thank you. Thank you. Oh dear. Okay, now we're in trouble. Actually, no, we're not. There's a headshot. Okay. Awesome. Alright. Let's do the sneak, sneak, sneak. I want your soul. Can I take it? Nope. Okay. Donkey. Donkey. Excusez-moi. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Nope, no you don't. No healing for you. Ah, rude. Holy hell, okay. Guild all polished. Oh man, come on. I really want a different genre. We can play Knifey Spoony all day. Oh my god, that was awesome. Okay. Very cool. Knifey Spoony. And we have no enemies. That's weird. Alright, time to clean house. Wait. Alright, big boy. Oh, wait. Actually, I want to try something. Oh, what? Oh, man, come on. Okay. Alright, so where's that? I just want my torch, please. Okay, great. Excellent. This is one way to beat this dude. And the good thing is, fire damage ramps up over time. This is perfect. Not the most stylish, but it is fun. Ursula, wonderful. Cool. Ferrite blessed by Mora. Amazing. Ciao. Cool. Wonderful. Soft little landing. Excellent. Do 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 do. I need to go get some more of those weeping drifts too. I need to make more Cloud Quell potion. That's what we'll do. Which one was that setting again? Magic Fog on low. At least that makes everything slightly nicer. Actually, visual effects intensity. There's that. And bloom intensity. Where's an enemy? Hello. Okay. I'm just gonna freeze you guys from uno momento. I want to try something else. One question, my Tempest had 20 red, 20 green, and 5 blue points. After I changed the points in Tempest upgrade, I got less red, green, blue points. Can you just expand a little bit more, Kellerman, on the points? Ah, the virtues? So you've set your virtues up. The Tempest had 20 of the Courage, 5 Grace, and 20 Spirit. But you got less red, green, blue points. When that happens, go back into your, like, exit out of your arsenal, and then go back into your arsenal, and it should update the actual points that you've set. Excuse me. You are being so rude. There we go. So Kellerman, what I'd recommend anytime that you set up your virtues, always exit out of your arsenal and then go back in just to double check that they're actually sorted out or they're set correctly. So say, for example, I've got 20 points. All right, probably a bad example. Let's do this. I've got 8 points there. I've got 27 there. Once you've set them, exit out and then go back in and make sure that it stays the same. That's how I would be operating these. Generally, I find that the UI doesn't save everything completely properly. So say, for example, I go to Bromius as an example. It will have 4 points in Spirit, 30 in Courage, 4 in Grace. If I exit out, go back in, it will have 5 points, 30 in Courage, 4 in Grace. So essentially what's happening is that the UI is taking a lot longer to update what you're actually seeing in the game, which is annoying at the moment, but eventually it will change once again. So if I go back to my default loadout, as an example, I've got 30 Courage, 4 Spirit, 4 Grace. If I exit out of that, come back in, I've got 5 points in Grace, and then 5 points in Spirit, and 40 in Courage. So it sometimes takes a couple of tries for your loadout to actually update correctly, and it's not saving our loadouts properly between any of these. So currently what you have to do is just make sure that you enter and exit a few times just to make sure that it's actually setting the points as they're supposed to be. Luckily, all of the packs that you set, they do stay the same. It's predominantly the UI that has the issue at the moment. So it's always a good idea to just go through and just have a look and see, okay, you know, what's happening with the actual point system itself. So now I've got 10, 18, 22, and then exit out and then go back in. And that will make sure that you've got the right points that you've actually set within your UI. It's the same thing a little bit with the weapons that we set up. As an example, sometimes it won't select the weapon. The way that I can see that weapons change is because of the different values up the top right here. Because I have a different totem within my defense slot, that if I change to the Grin as an example, I can see that it's got a different armored slot set up, and it's got the physical armor attached to it, not the duck, like the Watan does. Does that make sense? IQ, you got Narash? Hell yeah. Yeah, Narash is really good. Kellerman and I are just talking about the UI issues in the game at the moment. Narash is very good as a longsword. Very, very quick. I generally put the attacks reducing enemy armor, the attack speed in the attack slots. But granted, if you don't have the actual rune, this is what your UI for your weapon is going to look like up until you actually gain a copy of a rune that you can actually upgrade as well. So Narash is very good. I'm just going through and leveling up Thistle, and I am using the Tethering Pact to do so as well. So, but yeah, good on you for the Narash farm. Narash is very hard to come by, which is difficult. But if you guys are keen, if you guys are in game, you're welcome to join as well. I do have some new redeems on Twitch as well. I'm pretty confident. I've set them up yesterday. Yeah, I've got, like, if you want, just do the pick me join squad redeem on Twitch, and I can add you into the squad. Oh, you got the Arcstorm rune. Hell yeah. The Wraith? Yeah. That's a very good rune. It does apply itself to Flyblades, Calaman. On these weapons, on Skilter or Precles, whichever one that you have made. It does apply itself to the Flyblades, but any magic style weapon that you have. So if you've got access to an Odiak Gauntlet, or the Gwilyn, or the Urstreet Staff, these are very good as well. I can even take this for a spin if you want, so you can see how it works. What pack did you start with, Calaman? The rune? You just click on the weapons that it corresponds to. So your Arcstorm rune is, as I say, like the Flyblades and the magic weapons. The Everflame rune applies to all melee. And then the Alka's Breath will apply itself to the bows in the game. Do you guys want to come and do a boss run? I got my hot chocolate, so I'm good to go. I'm still waiting until D lets us turn off the claw on Orangol Pact. The claw? Do you mean like it's melee hit? Because that's not going to happen. That's actually part of the pact. And that's its mechanic as well. So that's built into the actual pact itself. I'm not really sure why you would want to reduce the the claws off Orangol at all, to be honest. That would be really unfavorable because that's a particular mechanic on it. It clips on other animations. That's just a clipping animation issue. That's not going to be something they're going to remove just because of that reason. It's the same thing with Garen Rood as well. They're not going to just change the actual pact just for that clipping reason. It's kind of like, yeah, if someone was saying like something's clipping, like on the Garen Rood Pact, when you use its actual kick mechanic, which is the headbutt, they're not going to remove that. Or turn it off. Think about it this way, IQ. It's probably a lot of work just to actually implement that. I can understand that that's something, but if there's not a lot of people calling for it, they're not going to do it. But I mean, I can't speak for them, so it's up to them. But you'd notice too, though, like I'm wearing Hand of Moor at the moment. It has the same attack animation as the Orangol claws do as well. So it's a punch, but you can hear the actual sound of the actual claws too. Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily something that they're going to remove. If it's clipping on other animations, they'll fix it, but they won't turn it off. Hopefully we'll get more loadout slots. We have like 8 packs but 4 slots. Yeah, I agree. I think having more slots would be great, but preferably I would rather have the UI get completely overhauled, which is going to happen by P12 anyway, before we get any more loadout slots, I think, unless we get some extra loadout slots with the Paragon packs as well. Just make it visible during animations. For some it makes it very annoyed. That's fair enough. I think that's still a personal choice. I don't think it's enough of a thing that where people are going to be like, oh, we hate the Orangol claws. There's actually a lot of people who like the claws. They're not going to turn it off during animation for that reason. Because they would have to actually like decompartmentalize the actual pact, remove the claws altogether. That's going to upset people even more. So I'm not going to agree on that. Blessed by Sapphine. What a wonder. I see you play more Mora's Aspect. Is it good? Yeah, it is. Mora's Hand, it's a good pact. It's not bad. I've chosen to put more courage into it, but I have a feeling its range is probably more appropriate to acquire rather than the actual courage itself. The reason why I'm saying Grace is because, well, Spirit would actually be good, but Grace would also be useful. So I'm actually going to put a lot more Grace into it, just so I can test out the range of Ignis Wrath, which is its very first ability of the Giant Inferno Flame. So I'm going to play with that. I am going to boost some of the Spirit into it as well. And the reason being is because I want the second ability, Ember, to do more length of time, so it lasts longer. And then I'm going to finish up, hopefully get enough into Sympathy at least, because this pact is absolutely needing Sympathy for health regen on Soulsteel. And then I'll just put one particular point into the Mora's Pride as well. But keeping in mind too, because this is a spirit-based weapon, its attunement is to spirit, I do need to have a higher spirit as well. So I do need to be mindful of that. So I don't know what the actual cap for this one is though. So 69. So that's 71. So that's 72. And that's 73 damage output. So I can probably do a little bit more. And then I've got Courage as a buffer on that one too. Alright. So let's go play with Mora's Hand a bit more. Yeah. IQ, I see what you're saying. Like, I do like the claws as well, but I think, like, with the animations clipping, that's just something that's going to happen. I don't think they're really going to put a lot of resources towards, like, fixing one little thing like that. Eventually, maybe, over time, they will, but I highly doubt that they'll do that, so. Colorblind Strength. I'm going to do 20 on that. Durantropia. And then I can just do none for the colorblind setup. And then, what have I got here? Bloom. So we've got Bloom Intensity is full max, and then we've got Visual Intensity. So let's see. Alright, so the Bloom Intensity is actually good, but the Visual Graphical Intensity is actually quite good. Yeah, so you can actually see a lot more of the actual magic that happens on the Envoy, which is nice. I've been playing around a little bit with the accessibility stuff, so Visual Effects Intensity is actually quite good at max, if you like that though. So that's brightness and contrast. So let's do 50 and see what that does. Alright, I'm just going to wait for the things to reset. Also, so that's what we see with Visual Intensity. So that's cool. So even at 50, that's pretty good. And we'll do that to 100. So that should intensify it a bit more. Hey buddy, where do you think you're going? Thanks, bud. See ya. You played Mora Aspect. Is it good? Mora's Hand is still, like, it's an okay pact. It's not everyone's favorite. I like using it, to be honest. Predominantly because of the flame damage that it produces. So I'm going to test it out a bit more, especially with the boost to the range in the Grace Virtue, and see how that operates. So these guys have got little glow things on them. I want to see bloom intensity. I don't really know what bloom intensity really means or what that actually does. So I'm going to boost this to about 150. So soul mode actually shows up a lot better if you change the intensity of visual effect in the game, which is nice. Hey, bud.
Alki's children are saying hold up in Hillidan. Bad day for allergies. Take care of our Alka, will you?
Skin Dog, what's going on, dude? How are you? I'm playing your favorite game. Am I good at guessing? Is Bear part of the raid? Okay. Oh, Retrosaurus, what's going on? How are you? Mr. Fabulous, how are you going? IQ, I see you. Yeah, I am a nerd. I'm proud of it, though. What's going on? Finish up weeklies? Oh, Bear went to sleep? Oh, that's all right. I don't really mind being safe. You know how much I love Bear, like, coming in and just causing a ruckus. It's great. I got my fat boy tea. It's just hot chocolate. It's really nothing exciting. How was the weeklies in Warframe? I actually haven't touched Warframe for, like, maybe a week. I feel like I'm sinning. If you guys don't know Skin Dog, by the way, like, go follow him. He's dope. I should have this set up as, like, a automated one, but I don't. But yeah, if you guys play Warframe and you guys want to get some really good builds, especially with Vault, Skin Dog is definitely the person to go talk to. Honestly, go support the motherfucker. He's great. Oh shit, I've got to do no weapon? God damn it. Thanks, Mr. Fabulous. That's okay. I can still kind of do something. So I may be able to get wrecked, that's fine, but Orangul has wolves, so she's technically not a weapon, so I can use her. I was going to do outwards, but I could not do it. We got a few reds and 2 hotshots. That was really good runs. Oh, yeah, nice. Soulframe's dead. That could be due to, like, maybe everyone's sleeping there. Rob it on a whim. And all by the by, too. Like, if you don't like watching a game, too, you don't have to be here. If you just want to cram out and just be disrespectful to someone who actually enjoys a game, be my guest, but I can also remove you from here as well. So, keep that in mind. How do you attack in the game? Multiple different ways. So, if I can't use weapons for roughly, like, 10 minutes, at least I can summon wolves. And they can pretty much do all the work for me, which is great. Honestly, Skin Dog, YouTube has the biggest amount of trolls I've ever met in my life. The amount of people whose opinion, apparently for them, is important, it's really irrelevant to me. Yeah, alright, well, if you're kidding, that's cool, but at the same token, like, emojis do help. I am just reading text as well, so it's pretty hard. If you don't know me and I don't know you, I'm going to take it more seriously than what you're actually pretending it may be. So just keep that in mind when you are texting stuff. So if you do enjoy the game, great. But I don't really know you yet, so I will take it pretty seriously. What did I say? Oh, like with the attacks? Well, I can't really show you because I don't have access to my weapons at the moment. So what I can do is actually use wolf form. Technically, it's kind of like a weapon in a way, but on the technicality of not being able to use weapons, I'll stay with the way of being able to use the wolves at least. No, before what? It was just referencing, like, if you don't respect someone doing what they're doing and showing up and doing a stream, then that's fine. It's mostly just to do with just commentary on, say, like, just making a comment in chat. I'm only reading text. I don't get, like, emotive context or anything like that. So if you're making a joke, it helps to actually put emojis to the context of what you're actually talking about. So I like the game idea. I just want to see the next few steps Soulframe go before just being on console. Yeah, that's fair enough, Skindog. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like, I know that you're a console player. I know that you're on Xbox. You got the mini fridge, man. I think in that reference of playing Soulframe, I guess it'll be coming on console, but I don't know whenever that'll happen. So, no, not you, Fabulous. No, it's someone else on YouTube. I do multicasting, so you guys can't see the YouTube chat, but I can. It was just someone was apparently making a joke, which is fine if it's a joke, but initially they were saying it was dead, and I was like, well, highly doubt that. Soulframe's not dead. There's a lot of players who are actually jumping into the game. So, oh yeah, I mean, if it's 12 months until they actually add console to the game, Skindog, I think that's actually a benefit for you guys, especially on consoles like PS5, Xbox, you know, to get all the certifications and stuff through and get the game up to a proper point, that it's, like, viable on a console. Yeah, I think it's not a bad thing to wait. But still, it would be nice if they could put it out on consoles earlier, but if they don't, then that's alright. When will we get the trading system? I don't have any confirmation on when we're getting a trading system, Kellerman. Sorry. I know as much as what you guys do, especially when it comes to P12. Yeah. Technically it's alpha still, though, Skindog. It's not necessarily beta just yet. In a way, maybe beta once P12 is out, but it depends, like, how smooth the game operates and runs. People don't think Warframe's a 12-year-old process. Yeah, exactly. I was actually talking about that earlier, Skindog. Someone was saying the amount of content within Soulframe. I'm like, dude, like, you've got Warframe that's got 12 years worth of content, and then you've got Warframe that's got 12 years of content, and then Soulframe's been out for like 2 years. Like, I think even myself, I've been quite harsh in some of my criticisms of Soulframe in the past, but seeing how much effort the teams are putting into it and the transference of assets between Warframe and Soulframe is really, really good. But also, like, it's a business, it's a free-to-play game. So I think a lot of gamers, like, we're all starving for, like, a certain thing, you know, whether it's content or things to happen, but those processes take time. So, yeah, I think people definitely do forget the process timing of building and developing a game. But I mean, looking at this game being a 2-year-old game, there's, like, bugs in it, sure, but it's actually a lot better polished than, like, a couple of, like, the other titles that I've seen released in, like, the last 12 months. It's crazy. Oh, you're banning an action? What action are you banning me from, Fabulous? Soulframe's going to be more popular than Warframe. The audience for fantasy RPGs is way bigger than the third-person looter shooter. I'm not going to agree or disagree on that, to be honest, Robert. I think Soulframe's its own game, Warframe's its own game. That's all I'll say on that. Elden Ring finally broke into the mainstream. That's Elden Ring, though. I mean, Souls-like games like that. I mean, there was previous titles before that as well, so... Yeah. Yeah, it's massive for an alpha state, or pre-alpha state, but essentially alpha state will be when the title is actually released openly on the 25th of this month, so I think that's actually a really good thing. They're putting 12 years worth of content into Soulframe. 12 years of them experimenting with content is going into Soulframe. Well, yeah, you're not wrong on that, Robert. Like, I mean, Warframe has been a huge testing ground for a lot of assets that they can actually improvise and implement into Soulframe. So yeah, I think it will be a good game, and I think it's a really good thing that they're putting the Paragon packs and the Founders packs into Soulframe. So I'm going to be investing in it, to be honest. I do enjoy this game. I know that there's going to be people who like the game, and there's people who do not like the game. So I'm realistic in that sense. You know, not everyone's going to like something. The combat looks very clunky, like the drifter combat to me, but I'm also comparing it to Souls games. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard not to, though, Fabulous. Like, it's got the elements there, so it's a lot more forgiving than Souls games, though. I admit that. And yeah, like the combat, it is clunky. Like, you know, the casting weapons are actually very good. The movement is actually a lot more fluid than it used to be. But also, too, the Warframe community is going to benefit a lot from the testing ground of what the envoys in this game are like, especially with the Opurrator system. So, like the new hair designs, it's all done in Warframe style, but there's assets they're actually able to transfer over from Soulframe to Warframe. So both titles get to benefit in that. And I think that's a really positive thing for everyone. Warframe's going to get better because of it too. Yeah, exactly, Robert. I agree on that point. Warframe will become better because of Soulframe. But it's good because Steve is on basically both of the games. He's created Warframe and now he's creating Soulframe. So, and you can't run? Well, technically you can. This is running in Soulframe. Fabulous. It's got opportunities to be as big as Frame for sure. I agree, Skindog. I think it does have a lot of expansion to happen, and it's going to take time. And I think 12 years of spaghetti-coated legacy colors of the frame, yeah. Actually, speaking of, man, like, there's actually been some good upgrades for the color palettes. I'm not going to lie about that. They don't have as many color palettes as Warframe does. But I mean, they're just starting as well, you know? Like, I really hope the spaghetti code definitely gets fixed up. I really do. But as far as the color palettes go, like, we do have a relatively good amount of color palettes already, which is actually quite nice. So I'm actually really excited to see what happens with a lot of the different color designs that are coming into the game. And the shades aren't too bad, in all honesty. If you really like dark steel kind of setup, like I go relatively monochromatic with a bit of gold. So a lot of my like transferability of like fashion is shifted over from Warframe to Soulframe. What you mean? Finally broke into the mainstream when it dropped? It was mainstream at 1 GOTY? Yeah. Yeah. Elden Ring absolutely smashed goals when it came out. It took the concept of a lot of the other Dark Soul games, elements, and fused that into a massive game. So that project alone for Elden Ring was absolutely nuts. So I thought about actually doing a stream of Elden Ring, to be honest, because I haven't done it for a while. But oh my god, like even the expansion for Elden Ring was insane. So shading and stuff and hair went from Soulframe to Frame. Oh man, honestly, oi, Skin Dog, check this out. I've turned off ambient occlusion because it's never a good thing. Volumetric fog quality is an absolute nightmare so far. Sometimes it'll show up, sometimes it doesn't. But basically, like, if you have volumetric fog on, it's terrible. But even that, there was also, like, a lot of things that were going really bunky in the game because of the volumetric wind. It's very strange. I'll see if I can get something happening. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. Say if we look at this tree, for example, and I press soul mode, it actually compresses the graphical images down. It's not showing it up as much as what it was before. But volumetric settings, I've actually just put a short up on YouTube about it. Volumetric settings are just not worth putting like on at all, and ambient occlusion is absolute bollocks. So I'm choosing not to use them until they're actually ironed out. Anyway, so yeah, smoke effects and all those sort of particle systems in this game really don't do this game justice, in all honesty. Not at the present state that it's in, which is still good, but the volumetric lighting stuff is, yeah, it's not great. I wonder if it'll actually show up with the sun. Let's put the fog on low. Yeah, so there you go. So you've got the fog setting. It looks nice and pretty. But when you take it off, it kind of is quite raw, which is not ideal. So yeah, you can definitely see like a noticeable difference between having volumetric fog on to when it's turned off. I prefer to have it not on. But unfortunately, sometimes what it will do is actually play around with the skybox settings in the game as well. So if I turn it on high, it actually gives you a really nice, pretty soft kind of look to everything. So you get a shit ton more detail, which is actually really nice. But then you've got an absolute butt ton of fog. So in some areas of the game, it's really not ideal to have that. But it does give you a more kind of like immersive, kind of misty kind of effect in the game. It's not a bad effect. I just really hope that it gets ironed out a little bit so we don't actually have to utilize it within the game. I was telling you that the actions I banned was running. Oh, okay. Alright, well, how long's the timer for banning the action of running? Let's have a look. Alright, so that's technically for one mission that you get to ban me for that too. I am just slowing the timer down for the non-weapon use, but I'm going to adhere to that Fabulous, at least for like the next 5 minutes, and then I could basically not have to worry about using weapons, so it's about a 10-minute timer on that one. I should actually have a timer set up, but I'm too lazy to go get one for now. Or do you want to put like a timer on your phone? Let me know. As long as Soulframe doesn't make an office chair. Yeah, you're right on that, Skin Dog. Holy crap. That goddamn office chair broke the entire game. Alright, hopefully these dogs can take out these spiders, because they are level 30, which surprisingly, that may not seem like a very high level for, like, framers, or, like, warframers, but the Soulframers, like, level 30 is, like, the top tier kind of level of enemies at the moment.
Stand aside, human.
And yes, we can summon Arangol, which is awesome, so I hope that she shows up a lot more. But yeah, overall, like, I mean, Soulframe's doing pretty well, I think, for where it's at the moment. Alright, dog, come on, kill, attack, do your job. The AI is still, like, really funky, though. Can I use the Arcstorm rune on multiple magic weapons? Yes, you can, Calaman, yeah. Once you've got a rune, you can apply it to any corresponding weapon that you choose it to be. So, Arcstorm will apply to the Gwilyn Staff, the Earthreed Staff, and the Odiak Gauntlets. But also your Flyblades. So whenever you build those, the Pricklies and the Skilter, they will apply the Arcstorm rune. It's a very good rune as well. The passive on it is very good. No, you don't have to. Hopefully not. I'll say that. It's good that it transfers, or like you can adapt that particular rune to all of the weapons that it can apply to. I really hope that in future we don't have to get extra runes. We can just apply the one like we can now. Okay, I think I figured out what Bloom does in the game now. Visual Affinity, Colorblind Mode, Protopia, and then Durantopia. There we go. GPU Particle. I've been playing around with like the particle systems too. I don't really know how I feel about them. Especially the particles, like they're so messy. Alright, so I've just done high. The GPU that I've got can certainly handle these things, but they're still not completely fleshed out just yet. I turn my Bloom all the way up. Yeah, Bloom does help in the settings area. So I've maxed out the Bloom intensity, but what I'm finding though is the visual effects intensity absolutely helps see more of the effects that you're casting a lot better. So I'm going to max mine right out so we can test that out and see how that goes. I do just want to go see if I need to do a few bits and pieces with this pact. I've got roughly about, like, I think about 6 more minutes on this no weapon use, so... Virtue base, let's have a look. I'm just going to boost the courage right up. I don't really need range, so I got 30 in courage, spirit, duration, and grace. So let's see how that goes. The old TennoCon footage. I wish the game still looked like that. The old TennoCon footage? What is that in reference to, Robert? I had issue with method DLSS option. When I alt-tab, I get after image overlapping. On that note, Calaman, what I would recommend in your display mode, go into borderless full screen. If you're like full screen, you're going to get an overlay as well. DLSS, I generally run quality, or I do auto. Auto is actually probably preferable. It depends on what GPU that you're running, but I always update the sharpening as well, so I'll actually max that out and see how well that goes too. So it just gives you a much crisper image. Also, in accessibility for visuals, if you put a colorblind compensation on, I usually use the Duranotopia. You can use the Protonopia, or you can actually turn it off if you want to. But I do find the Duranotopia at around about 50% filter strength. Just like clears up your image a little bit better, so you can actually get a lot clearer footage. So you can actually see like a little bit more smoke coming through the sconce, as an example. Huge lens flares with Nimrod. Ah, okay, I see what you mean, Robert. Yeah. If you're getting the lens flare, I would say that's probably part of your glare. So I actually turn off motion blur, depth of field, distortions, glare, and film grain. You can actually turn off as well. And then that will actually clean up your image a lot more. So you'll actually be able to see a lot more and not get absolutely blinded by everything. My only thing with Soulframe is the casual Souls-like, and most actual Souls players like myself play the game to overcome the suffering. But they're doing it to kind of attract more players who like Souls games but don't like how hard they are. It's a very niche subset player base they're trying to cater to, so I'm curious to see how it evolves over the years. Yeah, I can see that. I agree 100%. I'm interested as fuck to see where it goes myself. Yeah. I think it'll do really well. What do bosses look like? I can go show you one. You got the 2060 RTX. That should be sufficient, Calaman. I would probably recommend... I mean, even though I've got a 4060 NVIDIA card, I actually was running Soulframe on a NVIDIA RTX 2070, which was pretty good. But I would honestly say put all of your settings to medium, drop your GPU particle down to low. You don't necessarily have to have anisotropic filtering at all, or trilinear if you don't want to. It just smooths out your textures, basically. But you can actually turn these off as well. So you could do a default setting on trilinear, and then turn off your anisotropic filtering as well. I can boost that up to like crazy. Like I can do 8, and then I can do turn on. So, which is fine. Dynamic lighting, I still come and turn that on. You can turn that off if you want to. Volumetric lighting, I actually turn that off for light rays and lit fog effects. It's not smoothed out enough for me to be comfortable to turn that on. Reflections, yeah, I mean, you can turn that off if you want to too, so you can actually just keep your dynamic lighting setting as it is. Ambient occlusion, it really doesn't make a huge difference. It does draw on more of your power of your GPU, so I would not advise using ambient occlusion at all. There's just no point in using it. It really makes visually not that much of a difference. It's kind of more just like depth in your particles of your GPU. Okay, yeah, it might be easier if you do the FS2. I mean, I can switch between the two if I really want to as well. So I could just do auto sharpening. And that pretty much gives me like a relatively similar image quality to the actual game as DLSS does as well. So just switch between them. I would recommend though, let's try quality. So this is on FS2. So let's try this. So on the FS2, that's actually a little bit nicer than DLSS, to be honest. Sweet. So the doggos do like a really decent amount of damage, which is great. And you can summon up to 2 of these guys in the game as well, which is really nice, to be honest. But yeah, DLSS, I guess I'm not exactly 100% with it, but I'm pretty sure with like the upscaling kind of stuff, how NVIDIA handles that on their end, that's up to them. As far as I think Soulframe, like I think they've got to apply for certain certifications for different GPUs to be using in the game. Don't quote me on that, but from my meager understanding of it, essentially that's kind of what they have to do, I think. Just to say, approaching the company and say, hey, like we want to use this particular GPU with our game, and then they've got to do like a fix-it toolkit, basically, and then they would have to do something similar with consoles as well. I can't wait till this timer runs out. I think I've got like, yeah, I've got about 3 minutes now until I can start using a weapon again. Oh, I'm not allowed to run yet either. So I'm actually thinking about putting some info up in and around like different GPUs, etc. for the game. I think that would be useful information for people to have, but at the same token, like everyone runs different like GPUs and stuff as well, so it's a bit funky to be able to do that. Let's have a look. Texture memory, particle, dynamic, volumetric, local reflection. So the doggos definitely have the light effect underneath them. So I think that's dynamic lighting. Yeah, it is. It does remove dynamic lighting altogether, which is unfortunate because you do lose a bit of depth of the lighting in the game. There we go. So it's mostly like light source imaging. Doggo, I choose you. But yeah, overall I think the game is going to be expanding as well as it is. I think there's a lot of work that the team would probably have to do for P12 to be up to a particular standard if they're going to be opening up the game to a lot of other players. But being part of the Preludes cohort of being able to essentially test the game and just figure out like what's working, what's not, what do people like, what don't people like, it's definitely been an experience, that's for sure. So I have to say I'm pretty grateful to be part of the Preludes cohort before it gets opened up to everyone else in the world. So it's been a very good experience, I have to say that. Being able to give feedback directly to the team as well has been really, really nice. And they've been extremely receptive to a lot of information as well that players and everyone who enjoys the game is enjoying about the game, essentially. Alright, I think I've got 1 more minute until I can use a weapon. I'm just gonna have to run around like a silly man. Come on, this is like the longest minute I've ever had in my life. Thank Christ. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Zargan. Yeah, I certainly am. So, Calaman, you were asking about the Arcstorm rune. This is what it can do. So the lightning strikes that you see from the Arcstorm rune, that's exactly what it does. It's extremely strong. It's a very good rune. Damn. Okay. There we go. So essentially, once you empower and you steal a soul from an enemy, you can empower your rune to activate the Arcstorm rune. It's extremely strong. How do I activate the rune? You've just got to do a smite on an enemy, and then you've got to pull their soul out of the body. You've got 2 different settings for that in your customized keybinds. If you look for soul mode, you've got to activate that with a particular corresponding key. You can probably put like 1 or 2 if you want. I've kept the courage ability at 1 on the keybind because I'm a right-hand keyboard player and I'm a left-hand mousey. So you can set it up however you want in your keybinds, but you do have to activate soul mode first, and then you've got to press the key after to soul steal. And that's how you activate your runes. Once you've got them applied on your weapon. I am going to turn the visual effect down because that is super spicy now. I'm going to keep that roughly about 150 though. And then bloom, I'm probably going to drop down to about 50. Not the gank? Who doesn't love the gank? It's good. There is some visual stuff that I'm noticing, though, that is kind of annoying me, though. GP particle quality. I might actually drop that up to high. So particles definitely slow your gameplay down, so do keep in mind, Calaman, too, if you've got a higher graphical image, it's just a lot more particles that are on the screen, so that's going to draw out a lot more like power from your GPU, depending on your background settings of how you set it up within the NVIDIA app in Synapse as well. But it does make more like pretty glows and everything like that too. I guess it just depends on like your PCU, like your power unit of your game as well. So when you crush a soul, that triggers a rune. Essentially, yeah. Oh, I gotta hydrate? Okay. I've got to be so hydrated. Oh my god. Are you trying to make me go to the toilet? I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I've got like a mason jar of water right here. So, there you go. I can hydrate that too. What are you drinking though, Fabulous? And Zargan, welcome back. Yeah, I'm back at the Soulframe, yeah. If you haven't met... okay, so Calaman, this is a soul smite. So the soul is exposed, and then if you let it drop out, you can't actually steal the soul. So smite chances can happen, so there's another smite, and then I press soul steal, and I can actually steal the rune's power back, and then I can basically start using the rune, and it automatically does what it does there. So it automatically just will start throwing lightning bolts at enemies as well. And that lasts for roughly about 30 seconds, and you've got a timer that sits around your middle pact ability for that to actually activate and work. I'm on caramel lattes. Fuck yeah. Caramel lattes are so good. Which brand do you get to? I love caramel lattes. I usually go down to like Aldi and grab the caramel lattes like in the sachet. But certain ones have got like I don't know. All of them are probably pretty bad for your stomach, but the ones that I have gotten, they're not too bad. But yeah, if I've gotten a certain latte set up, it definitely hurts my stomach. Visual intensity. So I'm going to drop that back down to 100. And we'll see how that goes. Alright, cool. Hell yeah. Makona's so good, man. They've been around for years, too. I'm going to see if I can pull up like a boss fight and do a battle royale. I've been able to do a couple of battle royales with 2 different bosses in the same zone. It's actually been really nice. I really hope that Warframe would get something similar in that respect. I'll show you what I mean though. It was actually really fun. I am going to switch out the Pact though. Just so I can kind of cheese it a bit. These enemies in this area are usually pretty strong, so I'm going to bring the particular Pact that I'm working on. I think this is Odiak. Yeah, okay. So 92. That's probably way too high. I think 17's the cap. 91. 92, there we go. Yeah, alright, so courage at 92. We'll do grace, and then we'll put a bit more duration in for spirit. And then I've got the courage, Synod Spelljar for courage output. But also I've got... No, I don't actually have any boost in courage there. Okay. Interesting, why is it so high? Okay. That's my main copy too. I can't have much else. Blend 43 is to trigger my anxiety. Dude, anything called Blend 43 is a bit concerning, hey? It's funny how, like, Makona sounds, like, pretty chill. So you're like, yeah, okay, dope. Like, I'll have that. But yeah, I've looked at Blend 43. I'm like, what does 43 mean? It's like a scientific, like, thing of, like, I'm going to trigger everything that's possible in a human body. Alright, mofos, come on. So these guys are level 19. That's not too bad. Come on, get down here. Come on. Out here. I need you in here too. Come on. Come on. Hurry up. So this Pact is probably the most powerful in the game, for a very good reason. Alright. It basically reflects damage, so it's essentially like... Probably like... Equinox. So there you go. They basically reflect all the damage back at them, but without having to deposit the damage back at them. They just do it themselves, and it's basically like a Nova's Prime in a way as well. So if they're glowing green like this, that means they're primed and ready to roll. As long as you've got your 3rd ability up. So we don't have 4 abilities in Soulframe, we've only got the 3. We've also got a Valkyr style ripline as well, by the way. So as long as you're facing an enemy, you can pull yourself back towards an enemy as well, like Valkyr. It's pretty dope. And then, for some reason, a Lightning Kit Pact has got a Fireball Rolling Ball as its first ability. I'm not really sure why. Yeah, man. Like, the electricity output of the Voltaic is really, really good. These are my favorite weapons in Soulframe. So they tie really nicely to this particular Pact for that reason. The second ability, the Astrosphere, or Astrosphere, once you drop it down, it's actually a pretty big AoE. So I'd probably say it's about from the center to about roughly here. It's about, I don't know, like a 10-meter radius, I'd say. Actually more like 30 meters diameter. But it is a very good Pact, that's for sure. But the Voltaic damage against enemies especially is very good. So yeah, there's a lot of different elements you can definitely see that's kind of crossed over into Soulframe from Warframe. Especially with the Voltaic electric damage. We do have like heat damage, but it's not specified. It's classified as like arcanic damage, which is like magic. Which is one of my favorite things too. I started this game as a spirit user, which is more of like a mage caster build, which is pretty nice. The tracking in the game at the moment is a little bit funky though. Like, it's not bad, but it's still pretty good. Yeah, me too. I really hope that we do see an expansion of different element types in the game. Presently, we've got no cold kind of ability. It's predominantly magic, arcanic, voltaic, which is like electricity, and heat as well. There is another pact as well that's actually quite good. I was actually using that before, the Mora's Hand pact. It's basically like Ember, essentially. Ignis Wrath is basically just kind of, think about like World on Fire, but not as like meteoric. Ember is pretty much like a fire shield, so I would say something like Nezha's shielding ability. Yeah, I definitely would love to see a bit more icicle, like ice magic come through. This particular pact here, Siren, this one's kind of like Loki in a way. Pextrix Powder is blinding enemies, so kind of like Excalibur's Radial Blind. Trick of the Light is definitely decoy, like absolutely. Glamour, you could basically turn yourself into a butterfly and fly around. It's not really something I really use. Tethrin, Felist, this is a consecutive melee strike dealing accumulative damage. I'm just trying to think of Warframe crossover. Kind of like Eclipse in a way. But it does like consecutive hits, so the more, like, if you do one hit, it does like 25% damage. The next hit will compound over to like 35% and so on. Yeah, probably more like Atlas is probably more appropriate, yeah. Call of Ancients is pretty much just like, hey, I'm here, come and attack me. It's an increased damage and increased defense, so I would say it's kind of like Raw, like for Rhino. More so weapon damage, I guess, for Raw, but at least the increased damage as well. Core Accumulating Whipclaw. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's probably more appropriate, actually, Skindog, yeah. Felist. It's the accumulative damage output. And then Clash is just like, it's a pushback effect. Yeah. Garen Rude's interesting, like Torment. This is kind of like, I guess like Necros's Soul Punch in a way. It basically leeches life from your foe and you could basically just like one-hit them. It's actually quite good. Behest, this one is probably more like crowd control in like quite a large area. So think about it as like Nyx's Chaos, I think it's called, where she's got that augment where she drops down the chaos field and like people who come into it get like stunned or whatever. That's essentially what Behest does. And Stampede is actually pretty fun. I'll show you that one. You can just summon a whole bunch of stags, spectral stags, and they just basically stomp everyone. Linky, how are you? What's going on? I'm doing another show and tell of Soulframe to all the Warframers. If you haven't met Skindog, he's also a fellow Australian streamer as well, Linky. He's very cool. And Skindog, Linky's from SA, South Africa. Actually, Linky, did I ever tell you that I know a little bit of Afrikaans? Ekasemorphe? I think I actually have said that to you once. Yeah, I'm doing really well. Just having a bit of a fun around with Soulframe and kind of making like crossover kind of ideas of like the packs within Soulframe to Warframe. It's really, really cool. So yeah, that's pretty much like Garen Rude in a nutshell. You just summon a whole bunch of spectral seeds and they just do all the damage for you. Which is actually pretty dope, if you ask me, and it lasts for quite a while. Ah, you got Verminia, nice. Linky, with building the bond with Verminia, she does have a quest as well. I'm not sure if you're aware. But what armor pieces do you have as well? The reason why I ask, say for example, you've got a really strong piece of equipment, like Garen's Crown of Grace, or even, say, take the Bassinet of the Mendicant King. If you've got this particular armor piece, I would say put the best armor pieces that you want on to your Envoy, and then I would come over to Verminia. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Say, like, you really like the Mendicant King set, and you've got, I think, maybe, what, 3 Moonsteel thread for bestitching. this is the way that I went through bestitching with Verminia. To get her bond up from level 0 to 1, I picked a helmet, which was the bassinet of the Mendicant King. And then, say for example, I want to make it look like the Garen Rude mask, as an example. I've got one more Mean Steel thread, but I'm not going to do it. Once you do that and click OK, if you're happy for that piece of armor to look like that, you can change it back. But once you click OK, you'll see the bond with Verminia go up. I don't think you have to do it too many times, which is actually quite nice. But I've done that with the Mendicant King helm already. And then I've also done it with this particular mask as well. The good thing about bestitching, though, is that you can make it look like another piece of armor, but then you still retain the base kit of that particular armor type's statistics. So like your physical, magical, defense, and your stability. But then if you want to change it back, you just click up there and it goes clear, and then it looks exactly as it should. But once you get Verminia to bond level 1, dip out of your Nightfold and come back in, and she'll leave a little note here for a quest that you'll find just here as well. And that's how to build your bond with Verminia. To Vulcane is a completely different story. So for you guys in Warframe, this is basically our foundry. Some very depressed chick. So Fazul, Brewing also builds it. Oh yeah, true, with the Cloud Quell potion. Yeah, you're right on that one, Fazul. Thank you. If you want to like expedite the process of getting the build or the bond higher with Verminia, yeah, you can do your brewing of the potions as well. Essentially, this is our foundry in Soulframe. So I pretty much got everything in the game. The only thing I don't have completed again is another one of these, which I don't really see the point of doing that. It does show you the amount of different items that are ready to be claimed. I really wish Assembled was over here, and then it said crafting instead of fragments. And then reforging makes sense. You can basically reforge an item in the game with a joinery. So say, for example, I want to attune this weapon to a different attunement for courage, for strength. I could pick this particular joinery, and these ones are extremely rare to get, but they are very valuable. So I would say, in reference to, say, like Warframe as an example, these would be like your Umbraformer in a way. Or even say like your Omniformer. It's a different modification system for your weapons, though. Like, we don't have any polarities for our weapons. It's mostly the attunement of a weapon. So if you've got a courage-based attuned weapon, then you base all of your points into your courage virtue. But if you want to change it over to, say, like Grace, I don't know why anyone would want to. Not at the moment. Grace is based on range in the game. So I'm basing predominantly most of my output of damage with the attunement to courage on most of my weapons. And then once you've done that, you can even do like lifesteal if you really want. I don't know how well it actually works. I could even make this a spirit bow if I really wanted to. So I can run around with, say, like the Pacts and use a spirit bow. Blitzel is probably one of the better bows in the game. But Juniper is undeniably a very good bow as well, and it looks amazing as well. But I have actually translated that over from a Grace base into a Courage, which is really nice. So I get weapon charge rate. I also get a little bit of extra damage to it, which is really nice. But say, for example, if I want to change Gwilyn over from a Spirit base, I can also do the same thing, as long as I've got the Blessed Joinery of the particular attunement that I want to attune it to. I don't have the Feybolt Joinery, which gives you consecutive attack damage plus 20 and throw distance plus 5. I'm really trying to hunt down a attuned by Mora in this particular style of the Joinery. I can put Gildor, but I'm going to choose not to. I don't mind having this as a spirit-based weapon anyway. So that's kind of like a relative rundown of what our foundry in Soulframe is like, which is this chick here. This is our tent. It's pretty much essentially where we sleep, I assume. We can't really decorate or anything too much in here at all at the moment. But this is actively... We're able to come here at any time, which is really nice. So... Orlick and his creepy baby He's an interesting theologian, basically. So this is the codex in Soulframe. It's basically just holds all of your notes of all the different quests. You can actually go replay Fables as well. I could even do the Tormented Stag if you guys really want, so you can see like the very first quest of the game. And it also has locations, so these are placeholders at the moment. But certain ones like College of Pensives, they will obtain more lore base to the game. As far as like your compendium for like your weapons and stuff, that's pretty much mostly in your arsenal at the moment. But a lot of this is going to be changing within the P12 update as well, so... Yeah, I agree on that, Fazul. I think they will actually give us some playful things that we can actually spruce up the Nightfold eventually. But for now, I mean, I think it does pretty well with the setup that we've got too. So I'm actually pretty happy with how the Nightfold is. But obviously, like, yeah, in time, I'm sure that we'll be getting the setup a little bit better than what it has been. Actually, I'm going to keep this particular setup because it's given me 99 armor, which is really quite good. And then we've got Skilter. Alright. You're welcome, Linky. Yeah. I've been now tried to do Bear Quest and sucked at it. Don't worry about doing the Bear Quest flawlessly, Linky. Honestly, the Waste Bear Fable is actually quite difficult at the moment. I mean, I guess you could potentially wait until the P12 is out to see what it's like after. But I mean, it's up to you guys, really. But Bromius is actually a really, really good pact, to be honest. It's very good. Very, very strong. And the Rump Thump is just undeniably very powerful. So... You were actually paying attention to me, Skindog? Oh my god. I hope so. I mean, my objective with doing Soulframe streams, though, is I really enjoy coming over from Warframe and seeing everything that we've looked at as Warframe is, and then seeing the differences of how that translates into this game. But I also enjoy the style of the gameplay as well. I am just going to switch back to the DLSS, though, because the FS, whatever it's called, FSR, it does kind of look a little bit janky to me, unfortunately, so I am going to switch back to it for quality. It just gives me a much smoother image on the DLSS, for me, at least. Granted, it is AI, but there's still a little bit of conversion on the graphics, at least. So that's the Stampede in action. And this is the second ability, Behest, which is actually quite good. And then, unfortunately, these enemies can actually block the first ability. But if they stop blocking, you can actually exploit them just before they hit, and you can just steal their life, which is great. Rump Thump's so good. Great damage and great for climbing. Yeah, I agree, Fazul. Yeah, I was actually doing that in the Nethans up here. There's a particular little puzzle in the Nethans, which I actually might go and run, to be honest. It's a beautiful tile set, I have to admit that. So I'll show you guys a few of the different new tile sets that have been added into the game. It's absolutely amazing. Skindog, you'd probably like the Nethans as well. It's pretty much basically Soulframe brought out their update. It's all based on mushrooms. And then obviously we had Noko drop in. So actually, a correction. Noko was dropped a week before the Nethans update in Soulframe. But I'll show you the differences between the tile sets as well. I would recommend for anyone in Soulframe at the moment collecting this Weaverwood sap on your way to the Weaverwood, because I have a feeling that's going to be an item that's going to be used to make those magical singing seeds, so we can actually teleport around the map with the world trees. I like the similarities of everything. Yeah, it is pretty cool. It's just done completely differently. Like, you can tell it's made by DE. It's just different. Look, but you can definitely see the crossover differences. So this is one of the world bosses, Kabocha. He's actually pretty sweet. I'll stop attacking him though, and I want him to summon up his little Cabbage Patch Kids. Here they are. We love the Cabbage Patch Kids. Oh shit, there's another one? Okay. Sweet. Alright. What I really like is that this particular pact has a headbutt, and you grow horns on your head as well. So every time that you use Soul or Spectral Sight, you actually grow horns. But I really like being able to turn these guys upside down. They're really cute, and they turn into like little lettuce leaves. It's actually pretty sweet. Where are all these little Cabbage Patch Kids coming from? Holy. We'll turn you into little lettuce. We'll turn you into lettuce. There we go. They do actually drop stuff eventually. Unfortunately, that guy can basically send a loop of magic back at you, which is annoying. But it's a cool mechanic, though. And then you can turn him into a giant lettuce himself, too. This dude does drop the best armor set in the game as well, which is Armour's, which is actually a really cool design, and it works extremely well with the Rump Thump Pact, Bremius. Alright, I am going to go switch up and do a tier 3 Sparrow Tail. I'm really hoping when we activate this one, it actually drops a boss right here, so I can actually do a Battle Royale for you guys. It's my favourite thing to do in this game so far. But the similarities in Warframe and Soulframe are pretty cool, but I just thought it was hilarious that it was all mushroom themed. It's like, how many mushies do you want in your life? Plenty. Here's a whole update on mushrooms. Although I do enjoy Noko still, like, holy crap, he's a very good frame. Alright, so we got a Badagar Stag, so I'm actually going to see if I can bring that Stag over to another boss here. So, I want to create another Battle Royale. Oh wait, where's the big one? Ah, god damn it, there it is. These guys are called Willow Wings. They don't show up too much, but unfortunately, when they do, you can steal something from the big fat one, but it's a different item altogether. It's called Willow Wings, not Willow Frond, but that's only if you sneak up on them. But they don't really show up all too much. I need paperwork from this lady, so hey, I need your paperwork. Thanks, lady. Aiming in the game is still a little bit off, though. You do have to turn on controller aim assist for whatever reason, but it does actually help the particles of the weapon aim correctly at your actual reticle, which is good. But yeah, I'm hoping that that'll get ironed out as well. But this is one of the newer areas that was implemented into the game just the last update, or this Prelude 11 actually. Very, very cool. I do like the corrupted enemies in here as well. This dude here, they wear armor, so they're kind of like a mini Elden Beast in a way. They're pretty easy to take care of though. You just kick the crap out of them, and then you break their helmet off, and then they run away. So what are we doing? Slay corrupted enemies. Okay. Where are the rest? Oh, that was it? Right, okay. Alright. I'm going to go summon a Badagar Stag for you guys, but I'm just going to change my pack before I do. I'm going to, like, cheese it a little bit. I'm going to swap down to the... I'm going to show off Tethrin, actually, because I've been working on a build with this particular pact for a while. So I've got 27, so that should be 22, that's great. Range, and then we'll put 10 in Spirit. so I'll put a lot more range in. The range I'm doing is because of the clash, but everything else is fine. Alright, so we've got Grintong. Awesome. And yes, we do have plant picking in this game. It's probably why Warframe actually got the plant picking, because Soulframe got it previous to it, so they just translated it over to Warframe. Actually, no, I lie. I think Warframe actually gets elements of what Soulframe is testing before Soulframe does, and then Soulframe gets it. So Warframe still benefits prior to Soulframe in certain ways as well, which is nice. So I'm going to bring this stag over to the Nell Knight as well. Which armor set? The Mendicant King set. I'm wearing a little bit of different pieces. So I'm wearing the Arangor's helmet, and I'm also wearing the Arangor's chest piece, but I'm also wearing the Mendicant King's, whatever they're called. Let's have a look. I'm wearing the Arangor's cuirass. I'm wearing the Armet of Arangor, which is the helm. And then I'm wearing the Mendicant King's leg pieces, which are somewhere. The Mendicant King's sabatons. So that gives me a pretty good armor rating. And relatively equal parts of physical damage reduction, but also the magic defense as well. Alright, bud. Come on. Come for a run. I want to introduce you to another boss. Come on. And he hit a tree. Oh, shit. Okay. Come on. Come on. There you go. Alright, let's see if these guys can take it down. Is there a Banneret here? Damn it. Okay. Come on. Get over here. There we go. So, the Sinecure don't like the corrupted enemies, so it's actually kind of funny to be able to set up battles like this. So I really wish Warframe could do the same thing. So the damage I'm outputting with the actual Odiak Gauntlets themselves is not really that great. As soon as you see its health bar go grey, it just means that my damage output at the moment is not sufficient enough to be able to break through the enemy's health bar. Perfect! He's dumb enough to come down here. Come on, we gotta go take another boss on now. Come on, come down here. Come on. I know you want to. Where's the Nell Knight? Hey, bud. So this is another mini-boss in the game. He's actually pretty cool. Hell yeah, Linky, it's another Battle Royale. I was lucky enough to be able to do a battle with Helix Rook the other day. I think Sarah Loves Archery jumped into squad as well, so it was actually really nice to actually meet her and like play Soulframe. It's very, very cool. She's a fountain of knowledge as well. Oh no, they're both corrupted enemies. Oh no, good, the Nell Knight does not like the stag. This is great. Alright, let's go sit on the throne of power. This is awesome. So the Nell Knight is doing pretty good damage against the Badagar stag. Although the Badagar stag just doesn't really want to hang out that much. I am going to turn the volumetric fog off though, because it's an absolute nightmare again. Not that one, that one. There we go. Just so you guys can see it a lot more clearer. Awesome. Alright, bud. Come on. So, this is Battle Royale. I love doing this. Oh, Linky, also, with any corrupt magic, you can actually barrel roll through the globs of stuff. And it won't take you any damage, I don't think. Come on, dudes. Yeah, we got the slugs in here too. Sweet. Alright. Probably speed this up a little bit. Hey, that's a bit rude. Can I have your soul? Yes, I can. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've got the Arcane Rune active, I think. And we're going to take out the stag now. There he is. Come on. Come back to the stag. Wherever the stag's gone. Oh no, did the stag leave? Oh no, there it is. No, come back. I want a battle royale, buddy. Oh, damn it, it does run away. Come back. I want a battle royale. I can't believe it actually leaves. That's so rude. I want my battle royale. I don't know how long the Nell Knight will track me until it actually decides to go back to its position. Damn it. Stag, what are you doing, bud? Come back. I'm gonna get my battle royale. Alright, we're gonna have to resummon him. Come on. Round 2. You will fight. Come on. Come on. I want my battle royale. Come on. The only thing you do have to do is just keep the stag interested in you, just to keep it aggroed on you. Come on. Oh, sweet, we got a soul. Dope. But I don't want to kill it just yet. Come on, bud. Come on. You know you want to. Come on, over here. No, come here. Come on. Come on, down here. You know you want to. Who's winning this time? Oh, well, I mean, I'm kind of winning a little bit. Come on, bud. Don't run away. Good man. Come here. Come on, over here. Man, this is worse than rounding up a cat. Come on, over this way. Sweet. Run off the cliff. Excellent. Oh, shit. Okay. Come on. Down here. Come on. Honestly, I'd be willing to give this a game. Hell yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree, Skindog. Honestly, it's got a lot of potential in this game. I don't know where the Nell Knight's gone, though. Is he dead? Anyway, we got Battle Royale anyway. So yeah. Oh, there he is. Wait, where is he going? Alright. Baker's Gamer, how are you? It's been a while. How have you been going? I am having an amazing evening. It's literally 4:20, so good choice of timing. Skindog, I believe that's your favorite number as well. Alright. Oh, where? Okay, there's the Nell Knight too. Baker's Gamer, you've been playing Arc Raiders, I believe? How's the streams been going for you as well? And also just in general, I hope you've been going well. Holy shit, I actually got one blessed by Mora. That makes me extremely happy. That Battle Royale was absolutely worth that just then. Oh my god, I cannot believe I actually just got that Fable. That is one of the rarest drops I've ever come across. Oh my god. Alright. Stream's over, guys. No, I'm kidding. Holy smokes. I cannot believe I just got that particular Fable joinery. That's blown me away. Alright, go away, Slug. I need to get back to the Nightfall. Leave me alone. I will go and take you guys through the Neathans after as well, so I can showcase you the Etheldred, the mother spider as well. Been going at it with Ark. How is that game, by the way? I haven't actually stretched out into that just yet. I've been on the Ember community for 2 years now, so it's only normal that I got into Ark. Oh, that's fair. Okay.
How can I do better?
Alright, I need to do a reforging. I am so stoked. Courage base. Excellent. Oh, shit. I've got to be a level 30 with this weapon. But at least I've got one of these. Fable, Blessed by Mora. If you're going to switch over a magic weapon to the Achievement of Courage, this is the one that you want, and it is extremely hard to get. But very, very well worth it. So I'm very glad that I just did that. But how's life been in general as well, Fakist? I hope you've been doing well. Hot stuff. Also, by the way, I do acknowledge your compliment of being hot stuff. It is actually quite hot today. It's like 30 plus degrees. It's disgusting. Actually, Skin Dog, what's your degrees down there where you are? Okay. The game's something else. First 2 weeks, it was a recommend for me because of it being truly unique social experiment. As of now, the social experiment's devolving for the worse. Ah, in what way? So I kind of cannot recommend it until some balancing issues have been addressed. That's fair enough. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot cooler, I'm sure, Skin Dog, but yeah. It's been pretty warm here. I'm in Queensland, though, so it's always bloody, you know, sunny and stuff. But I'm still pale as shit, like... Which I don't mind. Alright. I'm going to take you guys down to the Weatherwood Neathans as well. I really want to show off the tile set to you guys. If you guys have got opportunity as well, Linky, I do have some of like the new redeem set up for Soulframe specifically now, if you're open to it. 16 degrees? Oh man. Yeah, see, that's my sort of weather. I should just move down there and come fish with you. Also, Fakers Gamer, we still have a lot of bugs in Soulframe. Clearly running through water, and there's absolutely zero gravity taking care of this particular area. But it would be nice. Do you give feedback within that particular title that you've been playing as well? And in reference just to the social experiment, is it more like just for like a personal kind of thing or streaming wise? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer that if you don't want to. Clearly I'm very open. I am going to switch up balanced and see how that performs. Still seems a bit grainy to me though. Drive time for me, Smoothies. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. Happy to have seen you live. Yeah, good to see you too. The water bug's weird. Yeah, I'm going to be coming back to Soulframe soon. Yeah, nice. Just to let you know, the Preludes 12 update and the Founders Packs are coming out on November 25th as well of this month for Soulframe. Yeah, it's awesome. It's going to be really good. So, all right, enjoy. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. All right, come on, babes. Let's go. I should probably show off Bellist a little bit more appropriately. Nuts. I really wanted that chick soul, but anyway. So the compounding damage with the unfortunately, the health bar isn't showing up properly, but essentially the 5-hit tick of damage output is really, really good. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Generally, depending on the weapon, you could actually like one-hit this chick, no problem. But you can certainly outstrip her healing ability, which is actually really nice. It's very annoying, but I also would really like her giant weapon as a bonk stick for the envoy as well. So I'm going to screenshot that and put that into the Soulframe Discord as well, because I would love to see that particular heavy weapon be a fragment requirement. At least like 3 fragments to build this particular Malrog's club. This club looks very similar to the club within... I'm pretty sure it's Malrog in Skyrim. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, there's a lot of different weapons within this game, and that's definitely one of them that I would really like. But that particular Banneret, her name can change, but her consistency of throwing out fire and like smashing in the face is pretty fun to go up against, especially as a early on envoy. You can definitely get one hit by her, no problem. But I do want to showcase a few other things. So if you guys do have questions in and around like different weapon types that you can use in the game, we've got quite a few different ones, which is pretty dope. And packs as well. I'm definitely open to showing you guys the different packs within the game too, so I don't have to just stay on Tetherin. With the combat arts, this particular setup of UI is going to be changing, but we've got flyblades, polearms, longswords, bows, shield and board, board and sword, magic weapons, and short swords. And this is essentially the entire list of all the different weapons that we have at the moment. We predominantly have a lot of long swords in the game. The Marrow's Bane is particularly strong, as is the Dwellian. I was lucky enough to be able to acquire a joinery to reforge it, to attune it to courage, which is your strength or damage output, which is really nice. The polearms are actually quite good. I can even take the polearm for a run to show you guys as well. The Rook polearm is good, and it's also damage type of blunt. So for anyone who's going up against mockeries and having a bit of a hard time, if you have access to the Rook, you can buy it, the fragments from the Silent Rose faction, and you can actually use that against the mockeries very effectively. If you've been collecting all your totems, I would recommend putting 2 attack speed totems of the Nimble from the squirrels and max these guys out. I think it costs roughly around... I'm not even sure how much it costs. Where's another copy? There we go. So it costs you 1,000 to get to level 1, 2,000 to level 2, and then 4,000 to maximize that rune. So what's that? 4, 6, 7? 7,000 per purple totem. The greens, on the other hand, do take a lot less harmony, thankfully. You'll probably see that I've got a little bit of harmony left. The good thing about leveling your totems is that the green ones take least amount of harmony of your materials. So it takes about 1,500 to get to level 2, and that's signified by these little leaves on your actual emblem, and then 2,000 by the end of it. So 3,500 isn't too bad for the green totems, but your tier 2 level, your purples are really, really good, but then your gold totems, Jesus, I don't even know how much they cost. Let's go to the compendium. I'm lucky, I've got like 107 copies of this. This is also a glitch in the game as well. It's not present anymore, unfortunately. I was lucky enough to be able to get the replicant glitch of the totems, so whenever you captured an animal and it gave you a totem, it basically gave me 107 copies of one particular one. And this one gives me 500 harmony each, so I can melt these down, and you can see that I'm getting a lot more harmony back up into my UI, which is phenomenal. So I'm not upset about this particular glitch at all. So I'm really glad that I got to experience that before they patched it out. So unfortunate for others who didn't get the opportunity to get the replicated totems, but there you go. But with the gold totems, these ones are the highest tier of totems that you can obtain. You can tell by the 5 little glowing flowers when you capture or start charming an animal. If you play the tune correctly, you do get extra harmony up on top of that. So it costs 1,500 to level it up to level 1, 3,000 for level 2, and then 6,000 to maximize that totem. So what's that, like 10,000 almost? So it's pretty crazy. I like all the ideas they've used for this is what has me intrigued. Yeah, like there's some really, really good mechanics in here, Skindog. Like honestly, I think you would love it. Like the way that I've been able to learn how your like brain works within Warframe. I truly believe once this game is up to a particular way of being, I think that you would absolutely love a lot of the mechanics, and you'd be able to definitely work in your own builds. I think 6,000. Yes, I do, but I need more. Cancel that one. This is what I'm really interested in as well, like the totem systems, the way that your virtues interact with your packs, the way that your packs can interact with your virtues, not just specifically like the abilities themselves. I think what I want to do though for this particular weapon is I want to not enemy damage slow, I want attack. Alright, so I want attack, I want smite, chance on kick, and then I want physical armor reduction. So I can take the Ducalic as well. If you notice too, if I switch away from the Odiak, you'll see that the armor rating goes from 98 down to 73. The reason for that is because I have 2 of these duck totems that are maxed out that give me 19 magic armor per totem applied. So you can see up the top here, it says 44 next to the magic symbol, and then 42 for the physical damage reduction. Excuse me. And then lastly, the bottom one is for stability. A good idea that I've been looking through as well is adapting different points to your actual pack trees. Rooted is actually quite good. It boosts your defense against stagger when you get hit by an enemy. This is actually quite a good node to be able to be putting more points into. I choose to maximize the damage output because I basically roll around in this game quite a lot. Luckily, we don't get fat roll like Elden Ring does. I'm going to bring over the Mora's hand, so I want to showcase that because it is quite colorful as a particular pact. Its passive is okay. It's Smolder, which is basically if you stare at an enemy, about 10 seconds go by and then they explode into flame. I've chosen to boost its Grace though. But if you do boost into Smolder, which actually I'm going to do, you will be able to basically inflame an enemy faster, which is nice. So I'm going to build that out. And then Akin is always something that I recommend, purely just for the recharge on all of your abilities. Rooted is useful, but I always build into Wingspan and then Sympathy for the regaining life on a Soul Steel. It's not based on Smite, which is when you hit an enemy and they glow, it's on the Soul Steel itself. And the same thing goes with Voided as well. It's not specific to the dealing damage on Smite. That's just the activation period of you being able to steal a soul. So I really hope these nameplates get a little bit of a glow up with the update too. I am going to build into Rooted as well, so I can show the effect of that. And then lastly, I mean, I could build in Hungry Flame if I really want to. It's basically just if an enemy is on fire, they take more increased fire damage. And then lastly, I'll just put one particular point into Spirit. So this is essentially a good setup for the Mora's Hand. It's not the best of packs, it's just very flashy at best. But I am going to just rejig the entire setup for this as well. So I'm going to continue using the Odiak. The good thing about that is that its skill cap, I think, is around 18 points for the maximum amount of damage output, which looks about, I think that's wrong. The UI is still extremely buggy in this game. So that's 94. That doesn't seem right. We do love the numbers. So that's 66. There's 94. Okay, so maybe that is correct. Alright, so that's rank 24. Ah, I think I know why. The level of the actual weapon went up. That's why the attack damage output is slightly higher. because of that, because I'm still ranking this particular weapon up, and it's at level 24. And then I'm still going to maintain using the Skilter for the Smite 3 in 50 chance, which is pretty good, if you ask me. The 7 in 100 for Precles, I don't really know if that seems right. Where are we? Yeah, okay, so it's 7 in 100 chance. And then it's 3 in 50. So Skilter technically does have a better Smite chance. But I have had a lot more success with Precles, popping off with additional 1 in 20 Smite chance totem, which is also rank 3. Essentially, I carry the same setup on both of these, but I can choose to actually change the totems again to give magic armor defense if I choose to. But I choose physical over magical on certain setups for that reason. And the good thing is that I actually get magical defense through here. But I can also change that to 2 little rats as well, and then therefore that will drop my overall armor rating down, but it will give me a much higher rating of physical defense as well. So it's a lot more restrictive than Warframe, which I'm liking. It wants you to be a bit more, yeah, absolutely. Skindog, it does force you to really think about, say, like your points up top are the ones that really matter. But also the little white numbers underneath, +1, means that you're getting bonuses from elsewhere within your build. So I'm getting +5 courage from that particular item that I'm wearing. So that builds into that one here. And then if I go into my pact, I don't actually have any extra points from my courage as well. So that extra 5 points that builds into this +10 underneath the courage stat comes from the pact itself, which... I think it was Preludes 9, you actually were able to look at a pact, but then right-click on it, and it would give you a breakdown of, say, Courage, Spirit, and Grace points that the pact actually gave to you as well. So that is something that I have been looking at and working on as well. So I don't get any bonus points in Grace, which is okay. I've got 1 bonus in Spirit, which is your duration of your abilities lasting. So I could just whack that last point into Grace if I wanted. If I wanted more life, as an example, I can actually boost my life overall. So I get 20 extra points of life from, I believe it's the pact itself. But I can build more points into the Everbound node, which increases your maximum life again. So it's a really cool system. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how Preludes 12 will actually operate within... how all of these like calculations are going to get fleshed out. I do have a bit of an issue with some of the abilities saying 1 in 20 smite chance. I wish it was more of a percentile. And I've spoken to quite a few people about it, and they have said, hey, like, do you reckon percentiles could be a thing? I'm like, I fucking hope so. Because it would be great. I would rather know a percentile. You know, give me like 15 to 20%. Like, we're used to that in Warframe. It doesn't have to happen within Soulframe, but I really hope that it does. So at least if I could look at, you know, I've got a base damage of, say, like 50, and then I add like 25% up on top of that. Then I can be like, okay, cool, I've got an extra 25% output of damage on top of the 50 flat damage, you know? So I really do hope that that does get fleshed out. So I want to show off a bit of the Mora's Pact, or Mora's Hand. It's quite cool. The second ability, it hasn't actually shown that I've actually used the middle second green ability, but this is the shielding ability, so every time an enemy does hit you, it will basically throw out like a flame AoE, which is pretty dope. And then this is the very first ability, Ignis Wrath. It basically sets everything on fire, which is really, really fun. This chick is extremely mobile as well, but overall, it's pretty fun. And then the last one, basically, it's Inferno. It's okay. It's a single target hit kind of ability. I don't really like Inferno. I really wish that we had a different ability as our third ability on the Mora's Hand, or at least the capability to be able to put a different ability and switch those with the packs. Very similar to the helmet system. So I'm just going to let her roll around a bit. And then I'll just recast. Like I say, Mora's Hand is pretty flashy. It's not the best pack though, so... But luckily, the build that I've actually put onto my Odiak can certainly do the job, which is not even the strongest build they can put onto the Odiak with the current setup that I do have. So we've got Gildor Polished, which is phenomenal. We got the Vidigris, which is a secondary dagger. And hopefully we might get a rune. Maybe. No, doesn't look like it. So that's Mora's Hand in a nutshell. A lot of contention with it. I think a lot of players of Soulframe either like it or they don't. I think a lot of people are probably leaning towards the side of like, we don't really like it. I really truly believe that this particular ability can be removed from the pack. I think Ember should be switched over to the first slot and Ignis Wrath should be the third ability. And then lastly, I really truly believe that this particular Sizemore, this is the Rolling Ball of Fire on a Lightning Bolt based Voltaic damage electric pact. I really feel like this would be much better suited to this particular pact on Mora's Hand. I've literally said that pretty much every single time I touch these packs. So I'll just double check with the setup that I've got for the Ode Tempest, and then we'll take that for a run. Actually, I have shown you guys Ode Tempest, to be honest. I've shown you Garen Rude. Orangol is actually another really good pact as well. I think a lot of people enjoy this one. You can turn yourself into a werewolf or a werewalker wolf in wolf form. You can summon 2 wolves, spectral wolves at one time. And the Howl is basically just increasing damage output and smite for you and your party, which is quite good. The one that I haven't shown you is Bromius, so I'm actually going to bring Bromius, and I've actually put a build together for it as well. And Linky, we've also got the green setup for you as well for Bromius as well. So I promised that I would keep that for you, and I did. Alright, so we've got Odiak, and then we've got our base cap of Courage at 18, we've got 10, and then we've got Grace. So I'm happy with that particular setup, because I'm very excited to showcase what Bromius does. Rump Thump is phenomenal. This actually sets up very, very well with a very high amount of armor. So hence I'm wearing the Arbearer set. The Webbit Root is basically like a rooting ability. So you can cast it in a very straight line and it basically captures all the enemies in there. And it's supposed to do a bit of damage, but doesn't really do that much. And then Song of Growth as well. So, oh, Linky, you're starting work now, so you're lurking? No worries. Okay, thanks for lurking. I like the Firewolf, not gonna lie. Big fan of that Jon Snow stuff. Oh, hell yeah. You would love Oracle, to be honest. Yeah, and I think the toggling as well, I think would be... I think there is toggling coming into the game for the Compass skin dog, but also the... I think there's like a screen shake or something like that. It's a lot more restrictive than Warframe. But yeah, it is a lot more restrictive in Warframe in how you actually set yourself up. So I am just going to quickly just switch over these two back over to the ducks. And the reason why I do that is because you can get your... what is that? Orbiting Flyblade slow movement. That's okay. I'm going to do the armor reduction rune on the Flyblades with the Smite Chance Totem. The reason why I'm doing that is because it should give me a much higher rating of armor. So we've got the 2 ducks on that particular weapon in the defense slot, and then I'm going to do the same thing on my magic weapon. And now that I've got 2 gold, it actually pushes up even further because it gives me plus 19 magic armor. So it gives me a whole rating of about 109 for my entire armor, which is how this particular pact operates with damaging output. The higher overall armor rating that you have, the more damage it's going to do. There is one more thing I can do to boost that even slightly higher, which is the Wizard's Wish. It does give you physical damage defense of 1 and 2 magic, so I can have an entire rating of about 109 in my armor rating, which is more than sufficient for this particular setup. So I'll take you guys for a run. If there's any particulars that you guys want to see, as in, say, the statistics of stuff, I'm happy to go back in the Nightfold when I can. I can't actually go back in if I'm near enemies, but if you want to see stats on some of like the armor, weapons, etc., I'm happy to share those as well. Alright, I'm going to take you guys through here because it's absolutely beautiful tile set. I do want to make it look really nice and pretty, so I am going to unfortunately turn back on the fog volumetric as well, and the volumetric lighting as well. this is an insanely beautiful tile set. It's one of my favorites, so it's very cool. And all like the little mushrooms that you run past also light up. So it's kind of like you're on a runway. So this is the Neathans. There isn't all that much to do in here just now. Hopefully by P12, it does actually get set up a little bit better. So it's basically mushroom collection. Which isn't too bad. I do want to show you guys the rump thump, but I'm going to show you against the Kabocha enemy mini boss that's in here as well. He's not that tough, unfortunately. I kind of wish he was. Also, I meant to mention too, for anyone who hasn't really played Soulframe, these are the soul gates. You can basically just utilize these to come back to the start of any dungeon if you get lost, or you just don't want to leave the exit. But I do recommend finding the proper exit for every dungeon, because sometimes there can be rewards at the end of the dungeon tile sets as well. Yeah, it's dope, hey, like, look at that. It's so cool. Like, I absolutely love this tile set. It's absolutely incredible. So yeah, the amount of work that they've done to make this tile set react to the Envoy is absolutely insane. I'm glad I'm slowly converting you, Skin Dog. There are puzzles within here as well. So if you see like these giant like butt plugs up here, just like throw something at it and it will water down. And then you can actually regrow bridges in here as well, which is really nice. The whole tile set is basically like a living organism of a forest as well. So yeah, this is the activation of a soul gate. You can just press and hold to get back, but I'm not going to do that because I really want to show off the rump thump as well. The way that world looks very clean already. They just need to tweak everything. Yeah, exactly. And that's something too. Like, I mean, I know that you know what I'm talking about when I say this. I think most of you would, but I do understand, like, a lot of, like, people that have come into chats and said, oh, why is it doing this or why is it doing that? Dude, at the end of the day, DE is a business. They need to make sure that they have the right amount of funds to be able to facilitate the work to go into the game. But also, they've got to create all the content, so that's why they've got their schedule, and they pump out the work. It's not completely polished to a certain degree, but that's what your hotfix is for, that's what your updates are for, that's why you update and optimize things, and that's why they do the dev streams as well. So in all, I really do think that DE, as like one of the many developing game companies, I think they do a really, really good job. Granted, there are times that they've made a decision collectively and said, hey, we've actually made a mistake here or whatever. At least they actually talk to the entire community. I think we're very lucky to have that. But at the same token, like, it's create the content, get it out, and let's fix it up later. So at least gamers have got something to do. That's the way that my outlook comes with the way that updates come through. Especially in Warframe and Soulframe as well. So I think we're pretty lucky to have the team that they do have operating the entire game as well, for both titles as well, Soulframe and Warframe. Alright, I'm going to go see if I can find this dude. Kabocha, he does like to hide. Always got a soft spot for you. Pablo's in the team. Oh man, Pablo is the man. I swear, like, the amount of stuff that he's done in Warframe is absolutely crazy. I would not be surprised if, like, he's possibly, like, being able to, like, give ideas and stuff into Soulframe as well. Honestly, like, that man is an absolute, like, legend. So, yeah, everyone in the team is, but, specifically for, like, the mechanics and how certain things work, like, it's pretty phenomenal work that he does and he outputs. And it's hard as well, because you've got to make a really hard decision as a team and then facilitate that and then put that out there and then see how the players are going to react to it too. And for the most part, most of the players, for the most part, are like, you know what, we don't like this, or we do like this, and they listen. So I think we're very lucky as a collective to have open-minded humans in that sense. I think this is just a dead end. No, there's Cabbage Patch Kids. Cyberpunk's one of my fave games ever, and look at the release of that. I actually haven't played Cyberpunk, so I can't really give much feedback on that. Have they made Soulframe 4-player now? No, Linky, it's still 3-player at the moment. I don't know if the squad is going to be increased at this point. Possibly in future. Maybe. But overall, I would say at the moment it's just 3. If you are farming things specifically in Soulframe, like the runes, I would highly recommend doing it solo. Only because the crossplay or connecting of squads at the moment is still... It's a lot better than what it was, but it's not as smooth as what it could be, but that's going to just be changing over time. But your RNG drop tables are specific to your player, so they're not squad-wide like Warframe is. Especially when we have to consider they are 10 now too, so they're restricted to thresholds. Yeah, exactly. Like they've got like an investor, you know, like they've got a part and say of what's going to be happening within directives as well. So, you know, that's with like contractual agreement. There's legal requirements, you know, tax, all that sort of jazz. You know, so it's a business at the end of the day. So yeah, they've got to take a lot of consideration with the factors as well. Alright, Cabbage Patch Kids, see ya. I love being able to kick these dudes in the face. Cheeky little bastards. Alright, so let's go find Kabocha. He should be around somewhere. Yes, realize the weekend there are still some squad stuff they need to sort out. Fight Nimrod in a squad. Yeah, fighting Nimrod, you can fight him in a squad, but it is very difficult. Also, like, some of the packs don't operate correctly within co-squad as well. Like, tethering can be a bit broken, and not in a good way. Sometimes its abilities don't work correctly, which is a little bit annoying. But luckily, like, okay, so this is the exit as well, so... I think Oselda, it does have the... I think the Elder Bloom does operate correctly now in co-play. But Tedrin, I still think, has a few issues. I haven't tried many other packs where they don't regenerate properly. Say, like, if you use, like, your second ability as an example, and then need to recover it, and it's supposed to regenerate, and it doesn't, that was something that happened within P8 and P9 preludes as well. So, slowly but surely, like, things are being, like, mapped out, so they're actually correctly working as well. They carried squad issues to from Warframe to Soulframe? Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's... I think it's because they're building it... I don't know if it's completely from scratch, Skindog, but I would say some of the elements, yes. Like, I mean, you've got your assets, so you've got to transfer from one company to another, essentially. Or, like, one project to another, I should say, not company. But, yeah, it would be, like, different contracts, different agreements, different everything. So making sure that... I don't know how all of that stuff specifically works for them, but overall, I would think, yeah, it... you would have to be able to transfer assets in a legalized fashion, essentially. So you're not, like, ripping something off, you know? Alright, I'm going to see if I can cheese one little thing here. That's annoying. I really want to get up there, but I'm just being cheap. Actually, hang on. I'm going to cheese it. Damn it, I almost made it. Actually, hang on. Oh, how the hell did I do that? That's hilarious. The rump thump AoE damage hit the button that was all the way up in there that I tried to get to. That's hilarious. Look at that cheese. Okay, so you can cheese it up here and then get onto these mushrooms, and that's how you get up there. Come on, bud. There we go. Nope. Come on. Alright. So, that's essentially what you can do with the Bromius Pact. You can kind of cheese jump over to some stuff. It's nothing really amazing to get into. It's just getting more mushrooms. Alright, so... It doesn't look like this tile set generated the boss though, but I am going to see if I can actually find him. So it's going to be down, forward, and to the right, it looks like. Fighting the bears was fun with the squad. Oh, hell yeah. The waste bear, absolutely. That was really, really fun. I love these. These are my favorite little sparkly things in the game. If we could actually find nature things doing this, just turning into like phosphorants. I mean, I know that there's corals that do it. I love everything that they've done in this particular tile set. It's phenomenal. Alright, so I'm going to go straight ahead. There's up, and then there's another one down, I think. These tile sets are actually quite large. Granted, you can't move through them all too quickly, but I'm okay with that. I think it's just like a visual nicety. It does give me nostalgia of Skyrim, where you went down underneath. I can't remember exactly what the location was called, but you were basically like in like a giant dwarven city, and I can't remember what the area was called, but it was basically very similar to this. So, in its own style, obviously, but absolutely beautiful. So I think this is the entranceway. Yeah, it is. Nuts. I really wanted to showcase the Kabocha little mini-boss in here. But I'll go do a Sparrow tail for you guys as well, so you guys can see what I'm talking about with Rump Thump and its effectiveness. I get Skyrim vibes hard. Yeah, man. It's legit, hey. Like, it definitely has a lot of vibes to Skyrim. The NPCs, we don't necessarily get, like, a lot of interaction from them, unfortunately, just yet. But eventually, hopefully, we do. So this is the exit area, so we'll go through here. But yeah, just the entire tile set, like, it's pretty incredible. It does look a lot better with the higher setting of the particle systems. It's just so pretty, like, absolutely insane. It's so good. Soul Skyrim? Yeah. Yeah. We could call it Sky Soul. Nope, I went the wrong way. But yeah, it's a beautiful tile set, man. Like, I love coming here. And I certainly don't come here often enough, to be honest. Granted, I mean, there's enough elements in the game that I can actually showcase, you know, doing, like, boss runs, trying to create a battle royale like what we did before with the Vedagar Stag. But the farming process within Soulframe is good. Granted, it's not as fast as Warframe, but that's exactly why I like this game. It's immersive. It takes me away from the fact that there are other players in the game, which I don't mind at the moment, specifically more so for like the RNG and like finding all the runes and like just rarer pieces of equipment. But once the establishment of the like the connecting on squad is a little bit more smoother, absolutely. Like, I still play with people. I don't know, Skindog, if you've met Jacta. I think he's hung out in chat a couple of times too. He's really cool. He and I went for a run too, because I was trying to expedite his process on the, I think, the Cicade event, which is in the game at the moment. Now, I think I've done the Banneret, I've done the Nelmite, we've done the Vedagar Stag, we've done the Mother Spider, I believe that we've done Kabocha. I don't know if I've done the Thrice-Bound Imp, so I will take you and show you guys that one. I am going to switch over to the Rook as well. I do want to showcase that for you guys, so you can see the difference with blunt damage output in the game, as opposed to, say, sharp or magic damage output. But this is Rump Thump in a nutshell. It's very effective against enemies, so I'm going to see if I can group them up. Hey, bud. So these guys are level 26, so that's actually not a bad... and that's a shield bash, by the way, from this big dude right here. So generally what I'll do is cast the third ability. So very much like Warframe, once you've got your Warframe or weapon up to like level 10, you have access to all the abilities, and then you just get the extra 3 levels up on top, or however many levels it is per ability, all the way up until rank 30. So Rump Thump is disgustingly good. Those were level 26. So the damage output for Rump Thump, I still haven't figured out the exact calculations process of it yet, of how much damage output you get, but it's extremely, stupidly strong, so it's really fun. Only one thing I wish DE would do better was NPC interactions. I'd love to have actual dialogue choice with Chipper. Yeah, man. I mean, Chipper, and who's that mushroom dude in Nightcap in Fortuna? I mean, I love the fact that they're representing 2 Aussies in the game, so I'm pretty proud of that. Sometimes I solo, just when ripping hard. Yeah, Deviri as well. Like, it's better to run Deviri in certain circumstances to run solo. Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah, I do like the slow pace. Alright, so we've got a 3-star. So this is how to charm an animal. You basically just look at the keybinds on the screen and be like, okay, so I need 5, 5, 4, 1, 4, 2. And that will give me a bonus of, say, like 350 harmony, roughly. And then the animal will also give me a totem. So that, in a nutshell, is how to get your totems within the game. You also do have these little Ide statues, or Ode statues, that you play another tune. You generally become very familiar with this one very quickly. And it does give you a particular boost in one of your virtues. So I just got Grace Amplification for roughly 10 minutes. And then the icons show in your UI just above your health bar, which is down your bottom left. I am hoping, though, too, we do have a sky castle in the game. Where is it hiding? Right there. I really hope that we get to go visit this sky castle eventually, and very soon. I have a feeling we may be able to in P12, but I can't guarantee that. I'm just really hoping that we do get to go visit it. This is one of the faction leaders. His name is Abacot, except this is one of his little guards who is a representation of him. But essentially it's the same dude. He's a very weird, pea-like, strange little critter. So we'll go take out one of the bannerets as well and see what kind of rewards we can get from the drop tables for this run. And the thrice-bound empty dude that I was telling you guys about, unfortunately I have already done him, so he probably won't be active for at least maybe another 45 minutes, I would say. Each boss that you take down has a 30-minute timer. Sorry, a 3-hour cooldown timer. So we just don't go and farm out the bosses and then just finish up the game. So, which I think is a pretty smart way to implement the boss types into the game so far. Oh no, we've got a wall-facing chest. That's unfortunate. So these are the sorts of bugs that we will come across. There's a nice golden chest with nice goodies in there that we cannot access. I'm not super upset about it, unless it does affect my bounty, which it looks like it does. Indeed it does. That's a real shame. So that actually is the chest that I need to open to move on to the next task. So that's a real shame. If you do the full story and just chill stack decrees in like the first round instead of rush it, it's incredibly easy in resources. Yeah, I agree on that, Skindog. Honestly, like doing the full story mode for Deviri is extremely beneficial doing it solo. And if you get enough decrees, like you probably only need about like 15, but you just keep on getting them anyway. Yeah, you can actually smash the crap out of the full story of Deviri. An elf? In a way, we kind of have elves in the game. There is a character that we're going to be meeting within P12, the Empress of the Alka's Children, which is pretty cool. Fighting an elf? Actually, that would be pretty cool. But I mean, in a way, like, elves are elves. They've always been called, like, Fey folk as well. So technically, our envoys are Fey elf, basically. Because they've got the magic of the Fey, basically, with all the different packs they're able to wield, which is pretty dope. So, unfortunately, I can't do this particular run, because this is the chest that I need to open, and unfortunately, it won't let me open it. So, Yeah, it definitely won't let me open it. Unfortunate. So I'm actually going to kibosh this, this tier 3. But I am going to screenshot this and chuck that into feedback again. And we'll see if we can go elsewhere. So I'm going to have to leave that one alone. Actually, I may actually go do... I'm going to go do Nimrod. He's a very cool boss. Imagine an angry elf in the Sky Castle to stay away from everyone. You're not far off on that one, Skin Dog. There is an angry man that we have met in previous a Fable, which was our latest Fable. Unfortunately, we can't replay it just yet. Which one was it? The Waste Bear. This Fable is unplayable or replayable at the moment. War Songs, we can actually replay the entire cutscene of the start of the game. The Tormented Stag is essentially our second Fable within the game, and then the Last Pensive is basically our first one, and then it goes Tormented Stag, She-Wolf, Steel Singer. You can do the Waste Bear, and then the Brew of Hues essentially is kind of like your mid to last one. Do you want to do that solo? Because I do need Nimrod. Ah, no, Nux, if you want to jump in game, dude, feel free to add yourself into the instance, yeah. There's the socials, and there's the my in-game name. So you can add me in-game, and just let me know when. At the moment, you do have to do friends in Soulframe. Say, for example, if I just sent you an invite, it's not connecting properly, unfortunately, at the moment. But yeah, you're more than welcome to join Nimrod. And hopefully you get the Everflame rune. Maybe you'll get some streamer luck. I was very lucky. Somehow I was able to obtain the 3 runes within the first week of the update, which was great. So I don't know exactly why some of the RNG is working for some people and some isn't working for others. So this is a purple totem, and it's a squirrel. The squirrels are always worth picking up, by the way. It doesn't matter what level they are, green, purple, or gold. They're all very good to pick up. All the animals are, essentially. But once you get like a surplus of them, they're worth picking up anyway. So you can melt down like all of the extra copies that you do obtain as well. I don't think Malrog's available. He's not. Okay, so I've already done Malrog. I'm pretty sure I've kept the Wazard and Nimrod available, I'm pretty sure. If I haven't, though, as well, Nuxbo, we can actually go and do your instance instead if you have those bosses up, and we can go for a run through there as well if you like. Yeah, okay, Malrog is unavailable at the moment to me. So, it's about 2.5 hours since I started stream, so... Hey, bud. Thanks, Avocot. I will not be back at that particular bounty because you didn't give me the chest to open properly. Alright, there's a big boy just over here too. I like these heavy units. They're very fun to go up against. So these guys are level 30. So these are actually a really good example of higher level enemy in this game at the moment. And that is Rump Thump in a nutshell. Very, very strong. So yeah, if you put your maximum amount of like totems together, armor rating, etc., if you can get it as high as you possibly can, your Rump Thump will do an excessive amount of damage to enemies, and the AoE on it is exceptional. It's at least a good like 10 meters plus, I would say. You don't have to put your third ability active. You can just do a Rump Thump just all by itself. So these guys are level 20 and 32 and 29. just up and down. Dead. Very, very good. And very strong. Alright, so you sent? Okay, cool. Are you... I don't know. You're Apollos? Just give me a uno momento. I will run down to Nimrod first to see if he's available. If he's not... Oh, yeah, sweet. Apollo? Cool. Makes me think of Apollo 13. I like the name. I think... I'm pretty sure I've got Nimrod available. If I don't, we can probably, like, jump into your instance instead, Apollo, if you like. And then we can go from there. And if you guys are having any issues, like, trying to find brine floss, it's literally along, like, lake areas. Oh, sorry, creeks. You just run through the little canals here, and you will find an absolute buttload of them. What level are you? 25 and 27. Rum Thump is, yeah, very fun. Oh, hey, little Derek the Duck. Oh, you don't have him? But you've got the rest of them? Okay. We'll see how we roll. Hopefully I've got the Nimrod available still. I'll know it, like, pretty soon. If you guys have got, like, any questions or queries at all, like, I'm more than happy to answer. I know it's a lot of me talking, so... which is obviously the point of streaming, but if you guys do have questions, I'm more than happy to answer. If I have the answer, if I don't, I'm happy to find out. Ah, this is good collective. Hey, friends. Oh, these heavy units are really cool. The Great Axe and the armor on this dude, I really, really want. I really want this particular enemy and armor to be farmable in the game. A Great Axe thing that they have is really nice. Like that sort of slicing spin around move, I really hope that we get in the game. And his power up shots and attacks are really, really nice as well. Even that one would be really nice too. I appreciate your soul. And the level up. Alright, let's go see if Nimrod's available. And then, Skin Dog, what I'm happy to do as well, I can actually chuck on Orangor for you, and I can showcase her as well. It's actually quite a good pact. Very, very good. Alright, Nimrod is available. Thank God. I generally save Nimrod roughly for the last because he is such a strong enemy now. He's very, very good. He was quite easy at points, but now, no. He actually can kick the shit out of you, which is good. So, Apollo, I've just sent you the invite for the instance as well, so I'll just wait till you're ready, and we can get cracking on the Dimrod. Unfortunately, I don't have Cloud Quell. I will go see if I can go make one. Because that will actually be quite useful against him. And I'm really glad that they've actually tailored the Cloud Quell potion to be craftable with Verminia. And they've also iterated and changed the crafting requirements for it as well. So you need 10 of the Weeping Dress, you need 6 of the Toe of Ode, and you need 10 of the Brine Floss. You can brew it, and voila. You literally have Cloud Quell instantaneously at your fingertips, which is fantastic.
My palate is so very dry.
Nice, using the Earthroot stuff as well, Apollo. That's very nice. What set have you got on? You've got the Mendicant King set on, and the Cicade, and Orangor's chest. Oh no, you're wearing the Orangor. Nice. Alright, let's see. Alright, so, ooh, super rare bunny. Hello. Oh man, I hate these dual bloody... what's it called? I'm not very good at them. But it does kind of suck that you gotta play the tune again. But anyway. Alright, bunny. Thank you very much. I appreciate your patronage. If only rabbits were actually... well, I mean, some rabbits are really cute in real life, but some of them, no. Alright. So I'll just draw out some of these dudes, and hopefully we can get a soul drain from at least one of them. Sweet. Alright, so we got a soul drain. Awesome. Oh, I don't think so, Nimrod. You get to not go anywhere. The funny thing about him doing the aerial assault is that he's still stuck in an animation, which I think is hilarious. And then we get magical sunlight. So basically that removes his ability to be able to do any sort of healing to himself, which is really nice. Oh no. So the aiming feature in co-op at the moment is still really janky against Nimrod, unfortunately. But he is very strong. He does have a really good moveset too. So I'd love to see more of his moveset be translated over to us as an envoy, especially with the polearms. So the closer you are to him, he'll do like all of like these really nice spin moves attacks as well, which is really cool. But he's a very cool boss. I really enjoy him. And he definitely hits like a truck, so you do have to watch out. So hopefully, Apollo, you get a Everflame rune from that. It's a really, really rare drop, though. I'd love his armor set, though, too. I really hope it becomes farmable. I just love the details on it. And he's a really, really cool sounding boss, too. I really enjoy taking him on. I do have, I think, lastly, the Wazid, which is just down near Siday's Stake. So we can run down there if you like, and we can see if we can get the Wazid or the Arcstorm rune if you need it. I don't have him, but I should have the rest of them. I've never seen which one? Never seen 5 runes. Do you mean like the runes that I've got? I've got 4 of the Alka's Breath rune, and that comes from the Etheldred Spider-Mum. I have leveled one of them up to rank 1, and that was using as a testing rune. And then this is the 3-star rune of Alka's Breath that I use on all of my weapons that are able to apply it. I do have the Arcstorm rune from the Wazid, that's fully leveled as well. And then lastly, I've got the Everflame rune, which is the one that drops from Nimrod, or the Discharge Nimrod that we just took on. This one's a really cool rune. It's very strong too. So I can actually pull out a polearm and show you guys what I mean. And yeah, I've got an extra spare copy of the Arcstorm rune as well. So I'm holding on to those. I'm not going to waste any of those runes. Because they were so hard to get. But as I said before, I was lucky enough to be able to get the runes relatively quickly within the first week of the update. So, the tunes for the rabbit. If it's a rare gold totem that you've captured, or the animal that you've captured, it's got 5 of those little flowers, then yes, it's a gold totem that you're going to be receiving. You don't have to get the entire tune absolutely correct. It's not. The only thing it's not going to do is just give you extra harmony, which is okay. Like, you're not going to lose out too much. But if you're getting a gold totem, that's actually a good thing. Because then whatever weapon that it corresponds to will actually show up, which is really, really nice. I think the UI is bugged, though. We'll see if it wants to work for me. Nope. Yeah, UI is very bugged. I may have to reset the game, unfortunately. The joys of co-play. Or maybe not. We'll see. There's definitely a lot of lag going on, and that is very unusual. Yeah, I'm going to have to reset, I'd say. Alright. Let me just drop this down. And I'll just reset the game itself. We're going to have an intermission. We'll actually just be right back. But I will just relog the game. That's unfortunate that that does happen. But it can happen. So hopefully that'll be fixed up by the time we get back into the P12. Alrighty. Cool. Who knows? Yeah, I thought so. Alright, so that'll give me a fresh instance of the game, which isn't too bad. So, Apollo, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run over to the WASD, and then I'll invite you to the instance of the game. It just is still very... It's more stable than what it was before, but obviously it still has its kinks to be worked out, especially in co-op. Come back, little dear. Alright, you're a 3-star. I don't need you. Alright, Flappy Bird, take me home. So they're level 23. That's not too bad. The polearms in general are actually pretty decent. But with the Everflame rune, it just exacerbates their damage output phenomenally. Lots of flame. So if you like heat damage, or at least flame damage, any melee weapon can adapt this rune. And it just gets even stronger every level that you take it to. So that's the Decalic with the flame rune. And I really quite like the design. It's like an electric fork, and that's actually Nimrod's weapon too. I really wish that we could mix and match the runes onto which weapon that we could apply it to. I think that would be really, really nice to see that happen. But for now, they're just localized to their particular weapon type as well. Alright, little bunny. The Wazard is a very interesting boss, though. Its mechanics are very, very cool. I do wish there was a few extra bits and pieces that was added to this particular boss. Similar to like how the quest was, the Wazard of the Wastes, I think it was called. But I think now this particular boss, it is the same boss essentially, but there's just a few less mechanics that it runs with. But it would be really nice to see that actually pick up a few more extra bits and pieces from that particular fable as well. And I kind of do feel like showing off the arrow hail against the wazard as well. So I actually will bring the setup that I've got for the thistle bow. Thistle bow is not by any means the best. It's just I'm wanting to restructure the weapon itself over to a courage-based bow. So I do want to level it out. So let's have a look. Is the wazard available? I think he is. So before I jump in, Apollo, I'll send you an invite to the instance in a moment. I'm just going to set up for the wazard with the bow. And I'll show you guys a little bit of the setup that I've had for it. Bromius. So Tethrin is, I think, the last pack that I was actually using with it. No, it was not. It was the Bog and Myrtle. So yeah, I am trying to attune this bow over to a courage-based bow. Blitzel is very good. Juniper, even more so. I have transitioned that one over to a grace-based attunement, which is really nice. I do put the 2 purple spry totems in there for extra smite chance. And the arrow hail slowing enemies' movement for 8 seconds is phenomenal. As well as having the Alka's Breath rune at a max level rank 3. And then 9 physical armor just for that one as well. I don't have a huge amount of damage output on Grace for this particular weapon, even though it's attuned to Grace. I choose not to put any more Grace into it, in all honesty, because I don't necessarily need to, because of the ability Fellist. I know that seems a little bit counterintuitive, but this is what I really enjoy about Soulframe, is that it actually gives me the opportunity to be as flexible within my thought process of setting up for particular battles as well. Ah, you did get the Everflame rune. That's excellent, Apollo. It's not able to be applied to your staff. It's able to be applied to any of your melee weapons. So that'll be like your long swords, your sword and board, short blades, your pole arms, and your long blades. That's where Everflame can be applied, in those 4 different categories. Alka's Breath applies only to bows, and then on your magic weapons, you do get the Arcstorm rune, and if you have the Arcstorm rune, you could apply that to both your magic and your flyblade setup. So if you've got Earthroot as an example, that's for the Arcstorm rune. It does not apply the Everflame. But if you've got like a long blade or a polearm, you can apply Everflame, and that opens up your 2 attack slots. Which I don't really use Wilder, to be honest. Sword and board, again, Everflame rune, your polearms as well, like Rook. If you don't have Rook, if it's Vasp 4 or Gathanan, you've got your dual blades as well. Dual blades, or like the short blades, aren't too bad. They're not the best in the game, but they do give you the opportunity to do like 2 strikes in 1 hit, which is actually quite nice, and its actual setup isn't too bad. Your longswords, most of them follow the same style of weapon style attack. Narrow's Bane is very good, it's very strong. Nirash, again, is also a long blade. It's a 2-star attunement to courage, which is nice. Stolten does originally start with a grace attunement, which I decided to switch away from, because I really just don't see the benefit of grace in the game, unfortunately, at the moment. And if you're willing to use magic weapons against the wazard, you're welcome to, but do keep in mind he does deflect magic back at you very quickly. You'll see what I mean. So Apollo, I'm going to bring you back into the game, and just let me know when you're ready in chat, and we can go from there. But I do want to showcase the bow as well. I love how the game told me that you denied my request to enter the instance, and you're appearing in the instance now. Denied. Alright, welcome. Alright, Apollo, just be mindful, if you're going to bring your Earthroot staff, you're more than welcome to. Just keep in mind to use your blocking quite a bit against the Wazard, because he does deflect damage back at you. So the setup I use for Tethering, I always cast Clash, the second ability, and then I cast the first ability to enhance the consecutive attacks against the Wazard. And I forgot to put the bow on. That's alright. I'll just use Flyblades instead. You can deflect your projectiles back at him if you choose to. And the good thing is too, he really doesn't like physical damage as well. There you go. Nice. And we got a fragment of the Earthroot Staff. So hopefully he dropped a an Arcstorm rune for you as well, Apollo. And then lastly, I do believe that I do have the Mendicant King available, which is great. So we could probably go to him as well. We got the nice little Floofy. I didn't really use Narush, the longsword. There was really no reason to, because the Flyblades that I have available to me, orbiting Flyblades reduce enemy armor, but the damage output that they do is actually quite decent against the Wazard as well. Witan is also a very good dagger. I believe that one is originally a courage-based achievement, which is nice. So I just polished it up with the Verite Polished and gave it more damage and perfect throw damage. Grin is also a fantastic secondary dagger. Its 9 in 100 smite chance is quite good, but I choose to use the Flyblades a lot more than the melee weapons as well. No rune? That's a shame. Okay. Alright, let's go to the Mendicant King, if you're keen to do that one. I'm pretty sure I've still got him available. But this is essentially the Arrow Hail in action. With any of the bows, the Arcstorm rune works wonders, especially with the Arrow Hail. The amount of smite and soul steal that you can get from enemies, especially at lower level, is pretty much guaranteed for the most part. Smite chance, I don't know how accurate it is, but having the totems does increase that chance of smite. So it's extremely beneficial with bows. So let's have a look. So you're over there? Okay, cool. Alright, so yeah, let's just head over to the Mendicant King and I'll meet you there. And predominantly out of all of the weapons in the game, the Arrow Hail does have the highest amount of smite chance presently, but that can probably change. But the arcanic damage for it is very, very satisfying. It just melts enemies away. You don't even really have to do fully charged shots with the bow. It is good if you can, but it's really not necessary, especially if you've got the rune active, which cools down after 30 seconds anyway, so it gives you plenty of time to be able to utilize the red before you have to recharge it, basically. And for the very good reason I use the setup that I do with any pact is building into the sympathy. Every time that you soul steal, you regenerate your health straight away. So there are a few pacts you don't necessarily have to, especially like a Zelda, but I still choose to do it as a backup plan, essentially. It does kind of give you a little bit more of a detriment to something else that you potentially could put those points into the actual pact tree itself. But I just choose to activate Akin, Sympathy, and I can't remember the last one now. But there's always three that I choose. Sympathy, I definitely know. And Akin as well for the regeneration of your abilities, of your Pact. So, basically giving you like a much shorter cooldown on your ability use, which is really nice. Voided is the third one that I was talking about. Pretty much the arrow in a nutshell. Arrow hail, rather. And they're just fully knocking an arrow will absolutely decimate an enemy. So bows are an extremely strong tool, especially with the current setups in the game. But obviously you can mix and match, play it how you'd like it. I generally go for survivability, very similar to Warframe. If I can survive longer, I'm gonna be able to do more. I do like the flexibility of the rolling of the combat within the game system as well. It's not the smoothest at the moment, but eventually it will be smoothed out a lot more. These little guys here are very annoying, but what I was talking about before with the Willow Wings was that you can actually pick up what they hold inside them, and then you can actually just creep away from them again, if you choose to. Otherwise, what you can do is step away roughly about like 10 to 15 meters, and just do an arrow hail, and essentially you can basically just destroy them all. Some of the little dudes will drop bits and pieces, called the Willow Fronds as well. I think we actually discussed that a lot earlier. But generally they are open out in like just randomized fields as well. So, alright. I'm going to head over to the Mendicant King and then we can go play with him. With Tethering as well, being a melee pact, I do find it quite funny that we're able to apply the Fellist ability to all of our weapons. It doesn't apply to your melee kicks though, or your unarmed combat, unfortunately. I did try using it yesterday in that way, and unfortunately it does not apply. I thought it would be kind of fun to see if I could maybe somehow cast Fellist and then switch my pact over to Orangol and see if it actually applied to the claws, but I haven't actually done that yet, so I don't really know. For this, I'm actually going to turn down a few of the settings, though. Chuck that down to medium, and I will absolutely disable volumetric fog, ambient occlusions off, and what else have we got? Volumetric lighting we can turn off too. They're an absolute nightmare, but you can probably see a little bit better for one, but also the flexibility of the game is actually a lot better without volumetric settings on. Also too, you can actually pick up these little lanterns, but make sure you run away from them. You've got about 5 seconds before they explode from the shrimp. Alright, so waking up the king. This will be good. If you guys haven't done the Mendicant King before, just aim at the bell and it will wake him up. Welcome to the show. I love this boss. He's incredible. Give me a soul. Nuts. He's not a very big fan of arcanic damage too, so the staff that Apollo's got equipped is actually very effective against these guys. And the shielded dudes can actually deflect all of your magic damage back at you as well, which is actually kind of cool. And you can roll through that teleportation that the Mannequin King does as well. When he targets you with a big white beam, just move out of the way. And just dodge roll it. If he does target you, and you've got one of these like metal pillar things in front of him, if that's blocking your view of the Mannequin King, essentially you can kind of block his attack. You've got to stand roughly about here, and he can't really target you. That is the Mannequin King fight. He's a very, very fun boss to take down. And we got the chest armor for him. Sweet. He does leave behind his greatsword and his crown, which I think is really, really nice touch. Those guys can be really sneaky. But essentially, yeah, that is the Mannequin King fight. You can let him live a lot longer, but his guys will just continuously spawn. So they're very similar in the way of, so like the mockeries, where if you keep the king alive, he will just continuously summon all of the enemies. In a previous prelude, though, we were able to continuously spawn his little fleshlings, or whatever they're called. I'm not really sure of their name. But the little guys that we were just fighting. And they would drop loot bags, and that was the easiest way to be able to go and farm the actual set for the Mannequin King as well. So, but he is one of the favored bosses, I would say, in the game. And the updates on his throne have been really nice. So it's a giant parchment. I wish you could leave your name here, or your name rather, but unfortunately we can't. To note though as well, this is actually where to fight the Mannequin King. I don't know if you guys have noticed the change in this phallic looking item of the tower just here. I think that's actually quite funny. Or a giant finger, either way. But I do find it's interesting that there is another location exactly over in New Vissi, or New Vissi, on the southeastern coast quarter. It has the exact same setup with the bell and the throne, except there's no king. So this is where to get the Mannequin King if you are looking to battle him as well in Stroic. So, unfortunately we can't get into the big giant castle just yet. Birdie's Bog on the very western part of the coast over in this location is very good, especially for farming a lot of... Thyak, how are you going? Good to see you. We were talking about you earlier. In good ways, obviously. With your 6-fish trading. Maybe another king? Oh, have you got a king available? Do you want to jump in game? We can do another one. Because if you do, I'm happy to. But with Birdie's Bog, if you guys are looking for any sort of materials within the game, especially like Toll Ode, the Weeping Dress, and the Brine Floss, this is actually quite a good area for totem farming as well. But do keep in mind, like, your higher level areas of your enemies are also what constitutes better drops for items and fragments, materials, etc. This is the highest level area in the game at the moment as well, so... Oh, you're working on the robot. Okay, no problem. Actually, can you tell your robot to go erase all the other robots on the internet? That'd be great. Especially viewbots and hackers. That'd be great. Which is the highest? The very northeastern quarter of the map in Midrath. So anything past, like, this mountain area, basically from the Nell Knight, just go northeast, and you can basically hit, like Moon's Watch as an example. That's a tower. And then you've got the lake, and then you've got the giant mountaintops area, and then you've got the northwestern quarter. Essentially, you can stay around this area, basically, and you can still fight, like, level plus 30 enemies, so, which is really good. Which is the highest level? I think it's roughly about, like, 34 or 35. Actually, good question on that one, Thyak. A better way to level up your entire kit is by coming over to Fort Curlar over here in the starting area, and then come down to this particular Glades of Andurin and run that tile set, and that will actually spawn a particular area that's basically dubbed like the Endless Glade. Sometimes people will drop that into recruitment chat, and if someone's looking and saying recruitment for the Endless Glade, that's what you want. And that's a whole ton of mockeries. So basically you go from level 1 and say you stay for like 40 minutes. It's basically like a Warframe's version of Cascade in a way, but it's just mockery enemies spawning, and their levels level up every single wave of enemies that you come across. I see 41 on Topmost Castle, which would be, which one? Oh, okay, that one's way up in the north, yeah. Mirafure. I would still probably recommend the Glade, in all honesty, which is located just here. And if you have 2 other party members, you all share experience, but also if you all put on, say, like, Orangor's Pact, you'll be able to get a boost in experience and damage output as well. Say if, like, 2 of you are wearing Orangor's Pact, it's actually quite useful to have it. Because she's got a Soulbound, which is melee damage increases when allies are in range, and that can be stackable in the tree of Orangor, and then Feral as well. If you increase that, if you maximize these 2 for the Glade at least, it's extremely useful. So I actually might rewrite that pact at the moment. I'll leave Feral for now, because I always jump into Sympathy. Pretty much without fail. You can build your top tree if you want to into Everbound, but I choose not to. I don't really need to. I think, what have I got? 8 points, eh? I'll do 2 for Feral, 2 for Rooted, and then I've got 4 points left, so I might actually put a little bit more stagger defense on this one, and then just a little bit more spirit for Orangor for the duration. And then I can just swap back to Tethering later. Orangor does work really, really well with bows too, so... Alright, let's have a look. We've got the 2-star, if we want to do that one as well. Apollo, if there's something else that you want to do within game, just let me know. But we can probably just go do this 2-star as well, so we can get a few more materials and stuff together. So good old Warpy mode. It's very, very good. I generally cast the 3rd ability first, and then I jump into Wolf mode. The reason being is because I treat that as a timer, essentially. I would really like to see the Orangor Pact get a little timer, very similar to when we do a Soul Steal and the rune activates on any weapon that you've got it applied to. I would really like to see a timer activate for the Orangor Pact as well, just so you've got a rough idea of how long you've got in wolf form before you turn back into a human. And that actually was something I mentioned in a Envoy hour, I'm pretty sure. I think Sarah and I'm pretty sure Greg were there. Yeah, Greg was there. And that was actually something I chucked in a chat, and surprisingly actually read it out. I'm sure that there's like a million messages that they get within chat. But that would be really nice to see that if we did get a timer set up for Orangor, I think that would be really nice for the wolf mode.
Alka's children are saying hold up in Hillyden. Bad day for...
Alright, so we've got to go get the
allergies.
paperwork,
Take care of our
Mike Wazowski style.
Give the kill to your pack.
We love you, Orangor. Thank you. Even without having a maxed out setup on a bow is extremely good though, regardless. Like, if you've got the rune of Alka's Breath, it still smashes out an absolute ton of damage, even at a very low level. But once you've got it maxed out, it just increases exponentially. It's a very good rune. And just play around with like your totem setups as well. There's plenty of things that you can change. So the things that I show doesn't mean that you exactly have to follow that pattern. You can build it however you want.
The prey is mine.
And look at that Orangor. Thank you very much for that, my darling. Alright. Let's go get a Banneret. Woof woof. Oh man, we got the cages for the avocots that we've got to free. This one's not a bad one, but sometimes it can bug out a bit, but that's right. I really do enjoy the passive, the Arcstorm Rune. It's very, very strong. I wonder what it'll be like in the next update, to be honest. But I would really like to see some more runes. I think I mentioned that before. And possibly a few more combat arts. Definitely some like heavy weapons. We've got the greatswords coming in, which I think is going to be really nice anyway. But just seeing more blunt type style damage I think would be very beneficial as well. Alright, so we've got to free the Sprout folk from their gauge. I do enjoy these puzzles, nonetheless. That was a nice little yeet. Very smexy damage, I've got to say that. Sneaky. Okay. Alright, there's one little dude. You're welcome, little bird. Definitely picking up weapon racks definitely helps. You will get a huge ton of stuff, though, eventually, so you don't necessarily figure out where to get stuff. It just basically drops everywhere. Absolute massacre. Alright, so we've got a little fly blade action going, but I also want to be able to figure out where these puzzle things are too. Okay. Excuse me now. But there you go. Beef queen. Alright, we've got one more to find. I have a feeling it'll be this one down here. I've got to figure out this light puzzle though. Wunderbar. Alright, there we go. And then light puzzle, I think, should activate now. That one was very intricate. Anyway, light puzzles, they're super fun. And definitely worth doing. Alright, we've got one more sprout folk little dude to find. And then I believe that this tale is complete. Apparently there's one down here. There he is. I'm just trying to figure out what's the easiest way to get back up there. Oh man, I wish I had Rum Thumb. Actually, if we just jump down here... And then we should be able to get back up through here. Nope, I'm wrong. How do I get back up there? I can't remember. Cheese wall. Why not? There is a chest down here as well, Apollo, if you need it. Just next to the big giant bridge. I can't remember if we can actually get up here or not. Oh, we can. Okay, good. Maybe. Alright. We took the long way. I made a wrong turn. I don't know if Fenjatar still shows up sometimes. I don't think he does anymore. I kind of wish he did. That Ignemora thing was really cool. However, I think he still does show up in the very first instance, but I don't think he actually shows up later once you've got the Ignemora. There you are, my little dude. I ran right past you. Sweet. There we go. And hopefully we get a blessed joinery by some means. Sweet. Okay. Alright. We'll have to go follow Mr. Flappy Bird. And then I'm pretty confident this is done. Oh, that's nice. I love some of the reflection rendering in here as well. It's really nice. Nope, I took the wrong turn again. Flappy Bird, where are you taking me, mate? Okay, there we go. Cool. Awesome. Very cool. Comba's Lair, western coast of Elka. Or Midrath, rather. Also a pretty decent location as well to be able to go around and just find a few of the different little totems. Specifically, if you use the Soul Spectral site, I keep on tripping up because it used to be called Soul Mode. You can obtain rats around the townships as well. This one's a purple level, I can tell because it's got the 4 stars around it, or little flowers, I guess. I got about 400 harmony from it, but also the rats are just very good to pick up in general. The purple, and they do have yellow, I think, for one particular weapon type. I just can't quite remember which one. Let me just quickly double check. So blighted, that's not right. I think it might be for the pole arm? No. Maybe there is no yellow rat. I can't quite remember. Smite Stagger, chance to enemy. Maybe there is no gold rat. Unless I haven't found one? Oh, I lied. There is one. The gold rat is a physical armor plus 14 for the longswords. Thank you very much. I got work in the morning. See you. No worries. No worries, Apollo. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up stream here. What I'm going to do is just see if I can just pop you guys to another Soulframer who may be online. I'm just going to have a look at the directory via Twitch and send you guys there. Thank you very much for joining in. It's been an absolute pleasure sharing what I have been able to learn with Soulframe, and I hope you guys have found something valuable out of it too. So bear with me. I am just going to have a look through the directory and see if there is anyone that I particularly know on Twitch. If not, I will just have a quick look and see if you guys have got any recommendations from a Soulframer as well. I'm more than happy to take that and have a look too. So bear with me. I'm just going to do a read. Alright, so we've got Skyknocker on. I have actually met Skyknocker. They're very cool. I met them a few days ago, just watching them on Soulframe, and they are very cool, very chill, very relaxed. So I'm going to send you guys their way. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your time with Skyknocker. They're very cool. So I don't have any like raid setup things at the moment, but I will have that set up eventually. So thank you very much for joining. It's always a pleasure to do a stream of Soulframe and just share what I've been able to learn so far. So please be nice and just hang out with Skyknocker. He's very cool, and I'm sure he'll appreciate the raid as well. So take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys possibly over the weekend. And I've got a few different things set up for another stream for Saturday and Sunday as well. And finally, if you want to add me on socials, you can follow that link through the Linktree or the Discord as well. And I have a lot of people in the channel as well, which are keen on Soulframe. So I hope you guys enjoy, and take care for now, and I will say ciao for now. Ciao.